Good evening, everybody. How the devil are we? Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, Jason. Good evening, everyone.
Let's just get this out on the socials whilst everyone's getting notified that we are live and kicking. How's my sound, Lee? Am I crystal clear today?
Very good, very good. Can hear you loud and clear.
There we go. We've got 2 viewers. Good evening, everybody. We're just going to share this on the various platforms.
Oh,
how the devil are we?
There you go. Put the comments up now.
I'm just putting this on Twitter, mate. Just give me a moment. There we go. So that's on Twitter. Well, I hope everybody's had a wonderful week. And it's been productive and profitable and uneventful in a good way. Just put this on LinkedIn as well. Might as well. Well, we've got 5 on YouTube now. Good evening, everybody. We're just putting the link out on socials. And then we'll be right with you. There we go. Right, let's get to pages. There we are. Let's have it on mine. This must be riveting fun watching us put on social media.
Might have a bit of a loud... Oh, it's all right. It's done.
Right, that's on all 3. Let's get on Facebook. Callum Williams is here. Hello, Callum. Callum has got some very nice beer for tonight's occasion. If you go onto his Twitter, you'll see what he's drinking. There we go. Right. Well then, it's been an eventful week, hasn't it, Lee?
Very, very eventful. Lots of things happening. Inside and outside the industry.
Shall we try and cap this to 4 hours then?
I think it's going to be a long one tonight, by the looks of it.
It could be. And we're on his own in the house. Spencer is at a sleepover with my mum and dad. So we've got the house to ourselves and possibly an uninterrupted night of sleep.
Wow. That's a rarity when you've got kids.
Well, if he settles. If he don't settle, he'll be coming back here. But there we go. So we'll just wait for a few more, Lee, like we normally do, to join us before we delve into the conversation.
Yes. How is everyone? Everyone good? I don't know who we've got. I can't see who's on at the moment, so... I'll tell you what, that's what I miss about Periscope. You could see who... Hi, Simon. Hi, Callum.
Simon, how are you, pal? We're a bit loud, apparently. Soph's saying to turn our sound down a touch on Streamlabs. So let me just do that. And do that. Soph, is that better? Send us a text, please. Hopefully everybody can hear us nice and clear. And we'll get going in a minute. Lee's debating whether he has some vodka or water.
Tough one.
Not
Very
really.
tough one because I've got an empty belly. So if I have vodka, I'm going to be drunk.
Do you want to share your food mishap that happened?
No. It's going to make me cry.
Lee ordered some food. Some fish and chips, because it's Fish and Chip Friday. Except they didn't turn up, did they, Lee?
No, they went to the wrong address.
But who sent it to the wrong address?
Me.
What a tool. Ordered fish and chips for somebody else.
Right, laugh. I've only had a cheese sandwich today. No breakfast.
Mate, that's not good.
A slice of bread. I've had a slice of bread and butter.
That's not good. You need to look after yourself.
That was my disappointed bread and butter.
Callum's got... Oh, wow. Callum, I'm lucky enough to have a week off next week as the kids are visiting grandparents. Callum's got a week off.
All right for some.
Wow. Lucky Callum.
Wish I were off.
You've just had all that time in Portugal, man.
Never have too many holidays.
Yeah, those 6 month stays away must disappear in a flash, mate. You're getting no sympathy from me, pal. None. Zip.
How many people have we got on at the minute? We're drinking, everyone? I'm on a cup of tea at the minute.
Cup of tea.
I can see vodka coming out though later.
Well, I've got
lemonade and lime, so I can see some vodka.
Dear me.
I better explain. I might be talking with a bit of a lisp today. I've got temporary denture in because I'm having some implants in the front teeth. So it's like it's a bit weird.
He broke his teeth on a sandwich of all things. A soft white sandwich. Not toffee, good. Not having a fight, nothing exotic, just he ate a sandwich and his teeth fell out. Madness.
They were a false tooth anyway, it were a bridge anyway.
But wow, there you go. We've got a few on Facebook, we've got more on YouTube.
Cool. Better get going then, don't we?
So what is everybody drinking tonight? Oh, Simon's kids are full of cold.
Oh dear.
Get well soon, Simon's kids.
I hope they're all right, Simon. They're all right, pal.
There's loads of bugs going around. Kids have got everything. Spencer's Friday night buzzkill. Yeah. Well, I mean, Spencer's had all sorts of bugs. He picks some up every week at minute. It's madness. So, Lee's on the tea. I'm on the Dead Pony Club from Brewdog. Although I do have I have an ice bowl, Lee, of Innocent Gun. Bourbon barrel Scotched ale.
Right, okay.
So it's ale that has been aged in an empty bourbon barrel.
Right.
To give it a flavour. It's very nice. Very nice. So that's my tipple for this evening. Michael Hagan is here. I said to Michael we're dropping a bit of tech talk today as well, Lee, because tech's Michael's bag. And we're a tech company.
Well, we'll like tech.
We're a tech company, so we can talk tech all day long, can't we?
Definitely, we'll have a bit of that. More than welcome.
So absolutely. Just getting back onto my stream. There we go.
We've got enough people to get going now, haven't we?
Yes, I think so. So we want to start off really with, I suppose, the major news from us. And that was on Monday. We announced that in April of 2023, Fenix will be holding its first in-person show back at the very, very popular Telford International Centre. And the reaction, Lee, has been insane.
Phenomenal. As we knew it would be, because we've not just done this off the cuff.
No, we have. It has had some careful consideration. Yeah, I mean, we won't say too much right now because there's a lot going on in the background, and over the next few weeks, you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing a lot of industry activity around it. But we don't want to announce everything just yet. But the reaction has been remarkable, and validates our decision to do so. Well,
just to be clear as well, we're still focusing massively, heavily on the digital side, on the virtual shows.
We just do both.
And for anyone who hasn't seen it, who's not on socials or blind, the main event for the virtual show is coming up on September the 8th to the 10th. So get registering free to register.
Yep.
Come and see us. We've got a few people. We've got some cracking companies exhibiting, including BB8. Simon's here today, so they'll be there with their cracking stand again.
They had a ton of they had in terms of content and downloads and browser material. I think they had one of the biggest there. I mean, you could if you started a trade fabricator, you could kit everything out in VBH. They had that much on their stand that you could have kitted out an entire fabricator's worth of a business with what they had on offer. But no, like Lee said, Fenix is now doing both. We started off as a tech company. We still are. It's just we could not ignore the overwhelming demand for that particular venue at Telford. So what you've now got is you've got the main event, as Lee has said, in September of this year, in a month's time. And then you've got the full virtual calendar in 2022. So we've got a series of expos during the course of next year.
3 next year.
Yep.
2 mini sector events and a main event.
And then you've got the Telford, which will be the key event of that year. And then we'll go back. So then you go to alternating years. So it'll be virtual, in-person, so on. So you're never going to have 2 in-persons in a row, because we need people to have time to develop products, develop a marketing strategy, get this supply chain nonsense well out of the way. But that 2-year cycle gives people a chance to go away, think about what they want to do, think about any new products, think about how they're going to win new business without any pressure. So that's what we're going to do, and we're now able to offer everyone everything. So
best of both worlds.
The best of both. So if you only want to do the tech side, cool, no problem. If you only want to do Telford and in-person, cool, no problem. As we think most will do, if you want to do both, that's cool too. So you get to do everything. Win-win?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And, we've always said that apart from COVID, there is a place for both. We believe that digital is massively the future moving forward, but at the minute, that's why we do the in-person events with NFAs as well as the digital side.
Yeah, just to remind people, we've done this before. The NFAs is a completely online awards, but then we have a winners event in person. The 2 go together. For people who wonder how it can work, it does work because we've done it for years. It's just obviously with a trade show, it's just a bigger scale. Lee, how many winners events have we had in the past? Up until COVID caused a problem.
Starting 13, did we?
Yeah, but we didn't have one for that one. I think we've had 6. 5, 6?
Until COVID happened, we'd had 6, I think.
I feel like that's the right number.
Bigger every year. They've got bigger every year. There've been some crack. I tell you what, I was going through all the old memories, and I've got all the old programs. We've got. We started off, and we were just doing it in Birmingham, I think. Oh no, that were tweeting me.
That was tweeting me. That was in 2012.
So
2012.
We did. Where did we do the first one? We did a couple of just minor meetups in pubs for the first 2.
Well, no, so...
Then we went to Alton Park for the driving
No,
day.
was that not the first one, though?
No, we did a couple of smaller ones first. Then we did 2 years at Alton Park.
I'm sure we went straight to Alton Park. We did 3 at Alton Park. And then we did 2 at Donny. And then COVID it, so we've done 5. Because the first one was a video. The first one was a video presentation we did with Michelle when you had My Trade, if you remember.
Right. Okay. I thought we'd done a smaller one at a pub somewhere.
No. Jane Ward. Good evening. Jane Ward's on Facebook. Jane. How are you doing, Jane? Just going through the comments.
Yeah. We've been used to, but I tell you what. One thing we do know how to do between us and our companies is throw a good party. We've had some cracking NFA awards, so we're looking forward to doing this on a grander scale. It's some of the old driving days. I mean,
the driving. I loved
the driving day at what was the hotel called again?
The McDonald Portal Hotel.
But we had the party at the Ulton Park racetrack, and we ferried people back
with party buses.
Trying to get people back on the party buses was that was hard work. It was fun, I'm sure, for the people on the buses.
Oh, mate, the state of that floor afterwards.
The party buses, yeah, shuttling between the hotel and the.
I was on the last one, so I think it were two. I think we had to do it in 2 halves, didn't we? Because there were too many people, and so we had the Ulton Park race day. Everybody loved that, and then everybody went back, checked into their hotel,
and we got too big for it, which is a shame. But
there was
races as well. They do look after you. Both of them are brilliant corporate events.
There was something about. I mean, there's something about being a bit small. I mean, I loved Ulton Park. You know, the race days, racing the supercars, you know, the drifting. It was fantastic. But yeah, we obviously it got more popular and we outgrew it. And I think the maximum you can only take was, what did you say? Was it 65 racing?
Yeah.
I mean, we were comfortably into 3 figures by the time, you know, years ago, in fact. So, you know, unfortunately, we had to. I say unfortunately, we had to leave, but, you know, we've had the last few at Doncaster races, and again, brilliant service, brilliant food. Everybody likes, well, I assume.
Well, they never let us down, do they, Donny? They're very good at what they do.
Yep. But obviously then COVID kind of fucking ruined it. So
well, we'll be picking it back up eventually. I'm sure it'll come good soon.
Things are still a bit uncertain as... You know, as events have been playing out in the industry, it's, you know, things are still not settled, and I suppose the last thing we want to do is, you know, announce something just to then cancel it again, or you know, just be unrealistic. You know, the things are still up in the air a little bit. So I think once we are absolutely sure of everything, I mean, the plan is there. It's just we have to execute on it. But things are a bit up in the air at the minute still, aren't they?
They are. I think, like I said, hopefully it'll get back to some sort of normality sometime soon.
And yeah, I don't think we're that far away, to be honest.
We just had a comment from Jane that she likes a party. Jane's not been to any of our winners events yet. You need to be there, Jane. You'll have a good cry.
You need to pack your drinking liver. Honestly, Sarah Hitchens. Good evening on Facebook. How are you? Are you looking forward to your 100 miles on Sunday as a team? I don't think everyone's racing 100 miles. I think as a team, they are racing 100 miles for GM fundraising. So I assume Sarah's
good luck with that, Sarah. I know there's a lot of people that are committed to that bike riding. I know you guys are doing it. So good luck. I hope you raise lots of pennies. Well, lots of pounds.
Pennies? I'm going to say. Look, I think we can afford a bit more than pennies.
It's because I've been talking about Yorkshire.
It's because you're tight. It's because you're tight. Lee will donate 13 pence to the cause. There you go.
I always try and donate for it's good cause GM fundraising. Always tried to back that. To be fair,
Soph wants us to get bikes. I think we're going to be. She says, "Thanks, guys. Not looking forward to being saddle sore. Do it elevated. Get on your. You know, like that. Just." Try to sit down as little as possible. Hopefully, you've all got the day off Monday. Hopefully, the people actually riding can have the day off on the Monday and just, you know, rest up or work from home in bed.
I'll tell you what, seeing as though you're both on, we don't mind a bit of a plug. Sarah, Jane, I know you do a little bit of promoting for GM. If you want to drop a link on for sponsorships, chuck a link on Facebook
and YouTube, yeah. Any links?
On YouTube as well. And then if anyone wants to be kind enough to sponsor the guys, then it's there. Cracking. Anyone who doesn't know what GM fundraising do, absolutely brilliant. It's a cracking kids charity, and you know we always back them. So anyone who can help.
Raised well over £1 million, I believe. So anyone doing the race on Sunday, you are more than welcome as Lee says, to put links to your donating pages on Facebook and YouTube. Not a problem at all. So Ian's saying get cushion on bike seat to treat.
Ian's also saying let's get to Ibiza, but you're ignoring that for the next meetup.
In Ibiza.
There you go. Look. Let me copy and paste this for.
Yep, no worries.
Can I copy and paste it? Or I'll just have to. I'll click in. I'll drop you a donation tonight once I'm done, Sarah.
I think we all will. Tell you what, anybody who's watching right now, can we all say we will donate, even if it's just a little bit of something? Anybody who's watching right now, can we just, even if it's a £5, just donate something to Window Widgets Just Giving page. Let's get it done. Come on.
I'm just gonna paste it into YouTube bit.
It will make Sarah Hitchens in saddle soreness seem all the more worth it. So, there we go. Gel seat cushion. Ian knows more about this than I do. I'm not a cyclist. Ian knows about his comfy bums.
I've just posted the sponsor link in.
Good man.
YouTube for anyone who could kindly donate.
Good man. And while I've got Sarah, we hadn't had a catch up in forever. In fact, last time I tried to ring you never picked up. So at some point we need to have a catch up and have a chin wag and put the world to rights. Sarah saying I'll get hunting for some duct tape and a cushion. Well, whatever works.
To be honest, I've not got a bike at the minute, but I've got an exercise bike in the conservatory, and riding that for 30 minutes is horrible on the backside. So I can't imagine what you're going to feel like after all that. So
the 100 miles, I don't know how many riders you've got in your team, Sarah. So is it? I don't know. Have you got 4 or 5? So you'll just take it in stages. So if you've got 5, someone will do the 20 miles, and then next one, then next one, then next one. Ducky cycled London to Paris in 2014.
I remember that. That was the George's Marvellous Medicine Charity. I think it was something like that, wasn't it, Ducky? I think it was that.
London to Paris.
So that was when you were at your old place, I think, Ducky, with Guy Hubble and Co. So I can remember that, covering it.
Cool. Right, so good luck to everybody taking part on Sunday. And yes, Sarah, we'll have a catch-up soon. Send us a message or a text when you're free. And maybe we can even talk about Fenix at Telford for you in 2023. You never know. Let's get Window Widgets there as well. Let's get it done. And speak to Ian. Ian's clearly got lots of tips for being comfortable.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Roll doll. I remember Ian. We best move on to some more industry stuff, aren't we? We don't want to be talking about us all night.
Hold on, just to clarify, hold on. So it's a maximum of 6 riders in a team. You can do between... Oh. Okay, so you can do between 100 and 600 miles. Jesus. We're going to do at least 100, but try and do as much as possible. Wow. So a maximum team of 6... You could be doing 100 miles each. That is a trek and a half. How far can you go in 600 miles? You could get from probably Brighton to Aberdeen.
I'll tell you how far you can get in 600. Well, in about 867 miles.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you've got to make sure...
I misjudged it with my walking for charity. I thought it was 1,300 from here to Italy. So 600 miles is well into Europe from London.
Well, I'm just thinking, if they go 600 miles, they've got to know they can't go too far. They've got to come back. You can't go too far. You've got to come back.
I remember. I thought I'd got the correct mileage, and I did about 600 miles too much.
You div.
To be fair, it was quite.
It's all good exercise, isn't it?
Yeah. But as soon as I realised, I was like, "Oh my god!" And it was like Mission Impossible. I had to walk like 6 hours a day. Ridiculous.
I remember you doing that. I don't know. Yeah, well, good on you, mate. We're all doing our own. Oh, right, okay. So, right. Sarah says they're all doing their own routes, not a relay. Right. Well, still, you can travel far in 100 miles. I mean, you don't want to be going too far and getting yourself lost. So, right, okay. So they're not going as a. Right, okay.
It'll be in Olympics next year. Next time it's around.
Next year. The Olympics are in Paris next time. Ducky could cycle there.
There you go, Ducky.
Ducky could cycle there.
Challenge, Ducky.
Callum.
But anyway, to close that off, anybody, there's a link now on Facebook and on YouTube. So anyone who could kindly pass a donate, because it is for JM Fundraising is absolutely fantastic. Do some cracking work. So anyone who can help, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And good luck, Sarah, and good luck, rest of the team.
Yeah, good luck to everybody, Sarah, and everybody else. It's hell of a thing. I hope I hope you have good weather as well. Because that's she'll be channeling Laura Kenny. Oh, aren't they done well? Team GB, mate. Team GB have smashed it.
You know, I've not had much chance to watch the Olympics. I'm not a massive Olympics fan, but I'll put it on and watch it.
Where are we at now? I'm just going to dive out. I'm going to see where we're at in the medal table.
I've been catching bits because I've been working long hours, so I've been catching. I caught the swimming, which was the marathon swimming. I can't remember the distance, but it was something like ridiculous amount of miles. It was like a 2-hour swim. Not in the pool. It were in the.
So for people who are not aware, so Britain are fourth. Team GB is fourth in the world in the medals table. We're behind China, who are first, United States, which is second, Japan, home nation, who are third, and then we are fourth. 18 gold medals, 20 silver, 20 bronze. If we can keep it up the last few days, I think we're going to be. I'm not quite sure we're going to get an all-time high, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get close to breaking some previous record. But even that, fourth at the moment. You've got the fake Russian team. They're not allowed to be under Russia. They're fifth. They're called the Russian Olympic Committee. They're not allowed to compete as Russia officially because they'll take drugs. But and then you've got Australia, which is sixth, I think. So, but no, listen, well done to everybody who's won a medal at Team GB.
I think it was the women's hurdles today. I can't remember what distance it were, but they got bronze.
I was listening to the men's 4x100
background.
I was listening to the men's 4x100 relay, and I think we lost gold by one.
Women's relay, right. Sorry. So, and then I watched hurdles after.
Well, I was listening to the men's relay, 4x100 relay on the track, and we were in gold medal position, and the Italians beat us by 1/100th of a second. Tiny margins. So
that's it. 4x100. That's what it were that we're watching in background earlier. Yeah.
Cool. So do you know what? Well done, Team GB. You bring in major positivity, something to cheer about, lightening the mood. You're all doing fantastic. And he's never going to listen to this, but Piers Morgan, just shut up, man. Just shut up. If you win a bronze or a silver, it's still a hell of an achievement. So just shut your mouth, crawl back into your little space, and go.
I can't believe you look at what Piers Morgan typed.
No, I saw it. He would tweet. There was somebody was retweeting the bollocks that I'd talked about. He's one of those guys where he's a perfect example of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Yes, he could, free will, free speech. You can say that stuff. Don't mean you should. Just keep your mouth shut. If you've got nothing nice to say, piss off and don't say anything at all.
I can't even look at what he posts because he's just.
He was criticising somebody. I can't remember what it was now. A particular athlete saying, "I don't know why we celebrate." I think the gist of it was, "I don't know why we're celebrating a silver because it's not a win. Gold's a win. Anything less, you've lost." I'm like, oh, just piss off, you whiny, moaning little turd of a person. Just keep your mouth shut. Somebody has trained for 5 years to come second. They're the second best in the world at something. It's an amazing achievement. Now shut your mouth and piss off. Awful, man.
It's made you very angry. This has taken over from your fast food restaurant rants.
What's the point of him? What is the point of Piers Morgan?
If anyone doesn't realise, Jason has a rant every time it's usually at fast food restaurants for some reason. He has to have a rant. So
he's a tool.
Piers Morgan's getting it.
He's a tool. He walked off set because he couldn't stand having a debate with his co-presenter. He walked off. Moron. Absolute moron. And yeah, Ducky's making a good point. I'd bet Piers Morgan couldn't even win 25 metre swimming badge. Mate, he couldn't even run 25 bloody metres, never mind swim it.
Yeah.
He's in the last...
But if he's saying things like... Well, he says it, but he knows what he's doing. He's doing it to get a reaction. That's all he does. He says things that's controversial on purpose.
Yeah, but he's attacking the achievements of someone who was trained blood, sweat and tears for 5 years to come second.
He does it to get attention. That's why.
Yeah, but he don't realise that
what they call her.
I know what you mean. I know you're going to say Katie Hopkins.
Yeah, Katie Hopkins does it. They both. All they do is go against the grain to wind people up. That's
Australia kicked her out. You know it's bad when Australia's kicking you out.
They're both same.
They've deported her. They've deported her for breaking lockdown rules and generally being an absolute pain in the ass. So they've kicked her out. But what they're not realising is the stuff Piers Morgan's saying like that to athletes. You only need to look at Simone Biles. Simone Biles withdrew from a lot of her events this year because of mental health problems. Obviously, she wasn't in the right place and she had issues. And absolute respect to her for taking what would have been a very tough decision. Then you've got morons like Piers Morgan criticising the achievements of someone who's dedicated their life to so long. You don't know what effect that's going to have on that person. Just shut your mouth and go away. If you're not going to add something productive to the conversation, piss off. Michael's just said it won't be a Fenix pub if Jace didn't rant about something. I've got to be honest, Michael. I'm not wrong, though, am I? I'm glad it's Piers Morgan and not me today because he wanted me to come and pick up some leftover barbecue food from his freezer, so I were in bad books. So I'm just glad I'm avoiding it. I can't put shit all in my freezer because you got steaks, burgers, and sausages. They're going to be frostbitten by the time you get them. We're going to have to throw them away. Just relax, man. Relax. Yeah, but I can't put my own food in my own freezer. I'd like my freezer back. Be all right. Relax. Breathe. Take a drink. I am. I'm going to open one of my innocent... out of the way. Is there any fast food in parts of the industry you want to shout at today? Yeah, KFC. Don't you dare run out of chicken again. Oh, dear. What you like? Got me Thanos bottle opener there. Driving me, you're stressing me out. You're driving me to the vodka bottle. I think I want to get a vodka. I'm not wrong though, am I? I'm not wrong, am I? Just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. Don't mention crypto, Michael. It's going back up. Luckily, listen. We get on to crypto later. Everything. Don't tell Jason what you're buying because he's like a dirt. Everything goes well until he touches it, and then it just dips. It's like the pit of death. Callum, if he don't come soon, I am going to have it. I am having a barbecue tomorrow, by the way. If Lee's not careful, he's going to have nothing to come back to because he's all going to get eaten. I'm just drinking a vodka, by the way. I'm not being rude. That's fine. But I will say, how nice is that from Blacker Hole Farm? It's nice. Prove that. It is. It's... Come on, Thanos, open the bottle. Yeah, so there's a butcher near us called Blacker Hall Farm. It is a farm, but they've also got a farm shop. And they do some very, very nice butchery, pastries, all that good stuff. Bitcoin bull run starting, says Ducky. I hope so, because Bitcoin kind of drags everything else up with it. So... I missed some comments all the way back up here. Callum, when
It's not Bitcoin. I'm interested in its XRP, but we'll get to that later on.
XRP Ripple, Callum.
XRP.
Callum saying, when are you taking suggestions for guest speakers in the evening in 2023?
We will actually be having some guest speakers.
He said, I hear Martin Roberts is a blast.
Yeah.
Mate, do you remember seeing him during the day? And he were hammered.
He were hammered.
Absolutely. His eyes were red. He wouldn't have been able to tell you what time of day it was. I think it was like 2 o'clock, and he was absolutely gonzoed, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about that near at time. But we are going to have some. We need to get back on industry for a bit, and then we'll come back. What we'll do, we'll have a quick talk about the industry, and then we're going to come back to tech because, to be fair, Michael's been patient, and we talk about a lot of stuff that Michael's not interested in. So we want to get into tech. What kind of tech do you want to talk? In fact, we'll do that now. What kind of tech do you like, Michael? What tech are we talking here?
I know he likes his fenestration tech. Michael's developing all sorts. He's going to take over the world with his developments.
Cool.
I won't spoil it because I know I don't want to ruin anything for Michael, but no. Respect to Michael. He's sat through a lot of these streams. We've talked about football and everything else, and I know it's not his barra.
What tech are we talking, Michael? What do you want to discuss? Because obviously it's quite a wide range. We don't want to be just going off on tangents, but any preference? Because obviously tech is right up our street, and we're more than happy to have a.
I mean, I'll wait until Michael gets in the comments, but I mean, window and door tech at the minute is. I think it's advancing quite well. I think it's advanced now. You imagine where we're going to be in 5 years' time with your smart cylinders and your sensors and your windows and doors telling you everything. I always talk software and hardware. Yeah, I think from on a hardware point of view, I think we're coming along leaps and bounds. I really do. I think there's a genuine tech race, both in hardware and software.
Is that what it means, or are you talking about hardware as in hardware? Proper
hardware.
Hardware. I don't mean like hardware in our industry. I think he's talking about hardware as in tech hardware.
I'm just wondering how many times we can say hardware in this minute. Hardware. I'm talking about window and door hardware. I think Michael, yeah, you're right. He's probably talking about. Yes, Michael is right. There is some cracking software coming. There's some good software out now, but some of the stuff that's coming down the road is going to take it a million steps further. So keep an eye out on the tech companies in this sector because they're all developing awesome stuff, all designed to make our lives easier. So there we go. Oh, Ducky's saying Bitcoin is at $43,000 again, or just short of. Kevin, why do we need door smart locks, really? I'll tell you why, Kevin. Good evening, by the way.
Good evening, Kev.
If you are that person that locks your door and then goes back to check you've locked your door in 5 seconds, you don't need to, because you can go. All right, we'll use Ultion's smart cylinder, for example. You've got notifications on via the app. You know whether it's locked or not. So you don't have to go drive back down your drive and go, shit, I need to check see if my door's closed. Your phone tells you can just get on with your day and not have to worry about it. You could be the other side of the world and you can remote unlock the door. If you've got a package, you've maybe got a Ring doorbell so you can see who's there. You can unlock the door shuts, and then that particular lock locks itself.
So I've got a question. How many software within the hardware industry actually work with stuff like Amazon's Alexa and Google Home and stuff? Because for me, I've not seen that many talk about that in our industry, and it's a little bit behind when it comes to other tech items in the house, or So I don't know. Am I missing anything? Is there any that are working and corresponding with Alexa and Google?
I know there's some software developments coming for the blinds I've got in my bifolds. That
Molly
gonna,
and Plina.
yeah, that are going to be smart home operational. Kev's just said turn a key, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I know. Listen, I turn my key, Kev.
Come on, Kev.
I'm one of those
Come on.
people. I did it this morning. I left the house, I locked the door, and then I went back to check the door. I turned the key, I locked it. I still needed to check it. But the times where, and I'm not making up problems. The time we had, we were going on holiday once when we were still living with mum and dad. There was a mass panic because my mum could not remember whether we'd locked the door or not. We had to go all the way back to check because she seriously could not remember whether she'd locked it or not. I had another half an hour to his journey. I can't actually remember whether the door was locked or not. But there we go. So there's that. I mean, look, smart.
I thought you were saying the Ultium one works with Alexa.
Yes, it does. Yeah, so we're getting onto that. Yeah, so the Ultium Smart Lock does work with Alexa. It works with Apple. It works with, you've got Bluetooth operation, and then you've got is it Samsung's ecosystem? I think. I might be wrong. Michael might be able to put me right on that one. VBH have got a smart padlock, which looks really cool. So
I've worked in locksmithing industry, as you know, and I was looking way back in the late what was it? 2007, 2008 when I first started in that. I can't remember. And I used to look at some of the, even now, the biometric stuff that we're not even looking at yet. The biometric stuff is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And we're not even looking. Well, I'm saying we're not looking at it. I'm sure they are, the hardware companies.
It already exists. Maco's got a version of it. And
well, Mako showed us it at the last live show, yeah.
But then I went to go see Festa at their showroom, and they also had a biometric operation on their, those doors, by the way. Festa doors, Jesus, they are nice. But they've got fingerprint tech on their doors.
So, some of the stuff that the locksmiths were pushing out even way back then were absolutely stunning. There were a company called TLJ, and they do a lot of the hotel stuff now. They've moved away from the locksmith market and the window market. They're doing a lot with hotels, but I'm talking 13 years ago. So what's happening now? I've no idea. But they've been doing access control and biometrics they were telling me it was like 20 plus years at that point.
What'll happen is, as the tech gets better and more advanced, the easier it is to fit and the easier it is to manufacture and the easier it is for the end user to use, the quicker the adoption will be. Because people will see a benefit, they won't feel inconvenienced for using it. If it's not particularly expensive, they'll see it as a feature worth having, even if they may not use it completely all the time. But if it's a couple $100 and they're spending $2,000 on a door, why not? And I think we're at that point where that is actually happening, where the cost per unit's coming down, the technology is getting easier to use, getting easier to fit, and it's getting smaller. I mean, we all remember Yale's smart handles. They were the first foray into it in terms of the handle smart hardware. Big thing. Not right reliable. But then things got better over time. And then we're at the point now where Ultium have managed to fit it all in a very neat unit at the back of the cylinder, which looks cool. So that's where we're at now. And that we've in the space of a few years gone from big and bulky and not so reliable to tiny and better looking and way more reliable and not that expensive. So I think, tech's the future. In it.
How long before we get stories about people using biometrics and having the fingers chopped off to rob their houses?
Isn't it a myth, that, though? I heard that once your limb gets cut off, I think, because it goes cold, you've got to have blood flow in your finger. I think it's a myth. You've got to have blood flow in your finger for it to work. And obviously you cut it off, it ain't going to flow, so...
I don't know. I was just being silly. I was just thinking about Terminator when he prods that guy's eye out and uses it as a...
Skynet. Could happen. Could happen.
Was it not Facebook who shut down their AI robots because they started talking to each other in a different language?
Yes.
That no one understood.
Yeah, I think it quickly got out of control.
Well, I was watching, I know we're digressing away from the industry, but I was watching a video interview with Elon Musk, and he was talking about, because obviously they're heavy into the AI, and he said it is the one thing that scares him is not anything like a nuclear war or anything like that. It's AI being used wrong. He said it could go, and he says it's a real worry. He says, and it's scary. He said you don't realise until you're in it deep the capabilities of where it could go if it's in the wrong hands, right technology.
I suppose all it needs is, and this is again, I'm not an AI expert, but I'm looking at this with very simple eyes. I suppose if you're running a program, an AI program, you may only be a small company or even a one-time developer. If you manage to develop something, self-learning AI, it only takes a small mistake, I suppose, in the software for it to run out of control. It only takes one mistake, I suppose, because we've already got machine learning, we've already got software learning. As Lee's just said, Facebook had an incident where it had to turn its own AI off. Are we that close? I mean, as like Elon Musk says, are we that close really to AI just suddenly just?
Well, Michael's just put an interesting comment. He said he went to Winkhouse after he started at Aztec and was shown an RFID sticker that could go behind your watch that would unlock the door. It's amazing. I bet how long ago was that then, Michael? That's what I mean. This tech, mate, it looks like it's coming out as if it's new, a lot of it, but it's been around that long. New. You wouldn't believe.
They're just finding ways to put it to a commercial application.
Some companies have been doing this for now near on 35 years.
Yeah.
The early originators of it.
Ducky's saying the world will end up being like Blade Runner or Tron. Tron
It'll
will
be
cool.
Fun. It'll be fun.
I like the bikes in Tron.
Sort of.
So no, I think the tech side of this sector is really coming on leaps and bounds, both on the software side. I mean, look at software. You've got OnSite 7, which is your internal sort of company management software, which is really cool. 2008-ish, she started in Aztec.
That's about when I started looking at the stuff
years.
As well.
So you've got OnSite 7, you've got WinderCard, you've got Smart Ready, you've got Ultium Smart App. Say that again, Lee.
Tommy Trinder.
You've got Tommy Trinder. I know I'm missing some out here.
What's one that Masterframe use?
Price Point by MP Logic. There's another one I'm trying to think of. Come on.
There's loads, isn't there? There's loads.
Michael will put me right. Come on, Michael. What ones? I feel like I'm missing a couple out there. But that's just in the software side. You've got more than half a dozen companies, racing to develop the best designing software, pricing software, company management software. And then on the hardware side, you've got guys with smart locks, smart cylinders, sensors for windows and doors. And in the end, it will become the norm. There will be a generation which just adapts this and takes this as a given, and that it's normal. And then suddenly that is it. Smart tech in windows and doors is here to stay. It will happen.
Profit Maker as well over in Ireland.
That's another one. Yep. There's loads, mate. Honestly, there's a genuine tech race in the sector now.
But we're starting now, and this is what I've started looking at personally with Nextech, who are doing our virtual software. And I don't want to get too deep into this today, but the augmented reality side is going to be massive in this industry. It's like when I was talking about video in the early days of My Trade TV, and I was early. There was some using it, but not many. Now everyone's using video. We're at that point. It's the beginning of augmented reality being used and virtual reality, more augmented reality in this industry. And the early uptakers of this, used right. I mean, listen, there's some terrible augmented reality ideas. That's why I've ignored it for 4 years. I've been looking for 4 years. But the augmented reality side, there's some cases that it's just thrown together as a gimmick and it's not very good. But there's some very clever ideas now that hopefully I'll start bringing in the next few months, but there's some very clever stuff happening now in industry tech.
Just to add to the list,
augmented reality will be a big driver in it.
Oh, it will. Just to add to the list, First Degree Systems and Business Micros with BM Touch. The consultancy, glazing vault. See, there's more here. There's more. So
yeah, we could go on forever, couldn't we? There's loads.
There must be at least a dozen tech companies in this sector now, in the software side of things. Just in the software. But the best example of the AR, I know Brisant have blown up their Ultian cylinder into AR, and you can zoom in, you can get all the intricate parts, the springs, the cams. It looks fantastic. And as a sales...
Well, that's more... They've got it on an app, but it's more CGI, that. But again, CGI, it's the advancement from video.
It is, but you can scan a QR code and then it pops up and you can delve right into it. All that stuff. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And eventually, I do believe we'll reach a point where installers, maybe not right now, but maybe in the next 10 to 15 years, when there's perhaps a different generation that have come in, will be using tablets, phones, using super detailed, super accurate AR to demonstrate product to homeowners. Because it will have come along that far and that easy. I just think that's the way we're going.
Well, the company that, because I've become a UK reseller for the augmented reality side with Nextech, and to give people an idea of who they're working with, we're talking high-end companies. They're doing the virtual TED Talks because of the COVID crisis. They're working with Dyson. You know, they're working with, I'm going to have to try and say it with my denture in, ASICS, the trainer company, sports brand. They've done things with a lot of the top major car companies, the car manufacturers across the world, you know, all the big car companies. They're doing some big stuff, and some of the things they're doing now, it's just ridiculous.
Yep.
But that's been the same. It's been, and Michael said it's been out there for a long time, but it's only just coming to homeowners. Well, this is where augmented reality has been out there for a long time, as has VR. But it's only had quirky gaming uses.
Yeah.
Now it's coming into the corporate world of manufacturing, where it's got its uses now because it's that advanced. And this is a difference. There's a lot going on in the tech world at the minute. It's moving fast.
I'm sorry, I've missed a load of comments on Facebook because my phone's not showing them. Sarah, she says, I've got an old timber door with a mortise lock. Sarah, come on. But inside it's full of smart bulbs and Alexas. I can't bring myself to change the door. You should be able to get a super nice Residence Collection door. That'd suit your house, Sarah. I've no doubt about that at all. Abigail. Good evening, Abigail. Who's going to focus on the business management side, though, with rumours about past 2030 and next year? It's good to have selling tools, but who's going to produce a great usable customer management system? I've said them before. Honestly, I would take a look, Abby, at On-Site 7. You need to have a chat with Reese and let him give you a full demo. I mean, we talk about the benefits and advantages of it, but I mean, he's the expert, he's the guy. There's a million and one things it can do. I promise you, it is worth having a look at, and it's not expensive. Like
Abigail, we'll email you after this because we've talked about that a couple of times. We will put you in touch with Reese direct.
I promise you, it's worth a look. It really is. I don't know why my phone. Anyway, so tech, Michael. I hope we've covered tech enough there. I think I hope we've piqued your interest on the tech side. We have been looking at some VR, but the idea is too advanced for the tech.
You need to talk to me on that, Michael, because the company we're working with is ridiculously
I know what Michael's on about.
World leader at the minute.
I know what Michael's on about, and yes, I think Michael, I do think Nextech could probably sort you out, but you would have to have a chat with them and see what the see what they could do with you.
Next week at some point, Michael, and I'll run through it with you if you get time.
So we before we came on, I know it doesn't look like it, but we do actually plan a little bit about what we want to talk and say, just so we have some structure. That plan has gone right out the window. So I have no...
I blame Michael and his tech.
Yeah, I blame Michael and his tech. So I have no idea what the next subject matter is. So, Lee, we might as well just not bother planning.
Well, I've got...
you could do with turning the light on, though. You're getting a bit dark.
I'm not going to talk about politics until later on because I don't want to get into that. It's too light at the minute.
Politics. It's a Friday night, man.
Well, it's not politics. It's just I'm going to have my own rant like you had a rant at Piers Morgan. Do me a favour, Jason. Send Michael my number.
I will once we're finished. I don't want to be looking at my phone while we're on. I don't want to be rude.
So, I've got some proper dad jokes for you tonight.
There we go.
And I know everyone loves my jokes, but before we do that...
It's the reason why people tune in.
I know. I know Michael particularly loves my jokes.
Lee, you're looking like a little bit like Darth Vader at the minute. I'm struggling. Can you turn on any more? Have you got any more illumination?
No, because a couple of my bulbs went today, so they...
See, this is how tight Lee is. He'll only donate pence for charity, and he won't even buy new light bulbs.
Hold on a minute. I talk about tight. Have you made a donation to the Morley one yet? Because I did, and you didn't, Mr. Tight.
Which one?
You didn't even donate to my walk.
Oh no.
So don't talk about tight to me, young man.
I've donated to everything else though.
That's just not what I did. Anyway.
He's not bitter at all about that.
Anyway, what's everyone drinking? I'm now on vodka and Sprite, lemon and lime Sprite. I've not seen Sprite in ages. Apart from abroad.
Abigail's asking for trouble here. Let's talk about banning door-to-door canvassing. Lee, Michael's right. He says you need a YouTuber light. I've got a ring light. Be right there.
Yes, I nearly bought one last week, funnily enough, so I will get one.
Well, can you get one? I can hardly bloody see you.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's a big room and it's an old light. It's an old... you can't see it, but it's a very old setup. So, but two bulbs have gone today, so I need to replace them.
Well, you know.
But when you're busy working, I mean, I need to get a new hamster to circulate.
Stop being tight and buy some bloody bulbs. That's what you need to do. Sian's here. Good evening, Sian. Sian, a previous guest host.
Hello, Sian.
On this podcast. Good evening. She wants to talk as well. I'm looking for a CRM that will integrate with Google Ads and quoting. Let's have a chat, Sian. Maybe after the weekend, and let us put you in touch with the right people. There's all sorts out there. All sorts. It's awesome. There's nothing you can't do. Nothing you can't do.
Anyway, you're stealing my thunder. What's everyone thinking? Come on. I'm on vodka. What we having? Is anyone having a drink tonight, or are you on your cup of coffee, hot chocolate?
I'm on Innis and Gun.
Water. Innis and Gun.
It's a bourbon barrel Scotch ale. It's very, very nice, actually. Very, very nice. No, Abby, I think
if you don't tell us,
Michael,
if you don't tell us what you're drinking, I'm going to start with jokes. So you better get involved.
Oh, for God's sake! Talk quickly.
Callum's fell asleep. He's drunk already.
Yeah, do you know why? Because he's drinking 8.3 IPAs, man. He's drinking finishing drinks. 8.3s and your 9s and your 10s. You have them at the end of the night.
Kev, I'm going to speak to Kev now. I'm going to go all Terry Tibbs. Talk to me, Kev. Talk to me. You need to talk to me about this.
Ducky. Talking biometrics, iris recognition, AR, VR. But before all that, Lee's got a lighting issue. Yeah. Like, he hasn't got any.
I do live in Barnsley, Ducky, you know. I need to talk to me, Kev. Talk to me. I need a price of you shipping a crate of your cider to me because my neighbour's a big cider. It's my neighbour and my landlord now. So we're cider drinkers, and I'm having a bit of an housewarming. So I want to know the price of a crate that you can ship to me, mate, please.
Yeah,
Not on here, obviously. Just message me, and I'll sort you out, pal. But I would appreciate it because I want to taste your cider.
Eiley Hudson is asking, Eiley, if you give me your number, I'll ring you, and we'll have a chat, and we'll see we'll have a chat about what's best. John Watkin, good evening. He's on his second bottle of wine.
Evening, both of you. I'd be on the third bottle if I was listening to us. So well done, John. You're very reserved. You're doing well.
So good evening, John. I think
we're both well.
I think we spoke to John before, haven't we? So Eli, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Eli. I think Eli. Give me a thumbs up if I'm pronouncing that right.
I'm not even going to try.
I believe it's Eli Hudson. I will contact you at the beginning of next week. We'll have a chinwag about what tech is best. They've got some cool stuff. Eli, I know you company brewing up. I'm off to see them in mid-September, I think.
Well, is that the young lady who was at GGFI at one point? I'm sure I've met her before. She'll tell me. I don't know.
I'm sure we'll be corrected. I know her from Garnalex. She were at the launch. She was part of the Garnalex.
23 doors. Okay.
23 doors online. Yeah. That's where she's at now. Ailey. I were close. I were pretty good on that one. I don't think I was that bad. I mean, Lee has had some faux pas in the past with names.
We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there tonight. Where, do you know what? I must have mistaken you for someone else, so apologies on that. She definitely wasn't at GGFI, no.
I'm going to say, I know Ailey from Garnalex.
Garnalex, right. Okay.
We've been having a chat, and I think she's got some exciting stuff coming up pretty soon.
Interesting.
One of the things, industry stuff, Lee, if we try and get back to the... Oh, sorry. You wanted to tell a joke?
No, go on. I'll save it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, anticipation.
Can someone donate Lee a couple of candles? Can someone just nip round to his house and drop through a couple of candles?
Look, I've positioned myself on my office table where I work. Is that better? There we go. Anyway.
No. It's not. But there we go. Ailey, I will. I've just Googled. It's meant to... I think Ailey is... it means light, I believe.
You've just Googled that, haven't you?
Of course I have. Yeah. 100%. I just don't want to look an idiot on here.
Unbelievable, yes.
Right. So one of the actual things we were going to touch on was motivation. Now, the reason why I bring that up is everyone's running on empty at the minute. The burnout is real. Energy levels are low. It's all for a positive reason. Lots of work. It's relentless. Everyone's booked up till Christmas. But it is very hard when you're working so much for so long and so hard to keep that motivation up. I'll go back to Simone Biles as an example. An absolutely incredible athlete with immense success. But she has performed at such a high level, at such intensity for such a very, very long time, that it's not a surprise really that she pulled out for mental health reasons, because to be at 150% all the time is near on impossible. But there's ways you can refresh yourself. There's ways to stay motivated. And that's the key. It's how do you stay motivated when you're working 10-hour days constantly? Remember that the money isn't the motivating factor for a lot of people. The money's nice, but it's not everything. So anybody in the comments, how do you stay motivated when you're under pressure, if you're tired, if you're burnt out, you're exhausted? What what do you do to keep going? What do you do that gets you out of bed and goes, right, let's do it? It might be the money. You might think, I'm going to earn £1,000 today. That's pretty good motivation. Lee, I don't know what motivates you, Lee. That's what I want to know.
What motivates me? The passion to do the best job I can do in work or in private life.
Work.
I mean, if I'm talking in work, I'm not doing it. It's wrong to say I'm not doing it to make money, because I wouldn't, I want to make money as well. But my passion in work is to do whatever I'm working on, whether that be the media side, whether it be the shows, whether it be the augmented reality, is to provide the best solutions for customers I can find. My motivation is getting things right, making sure the solution fits to the right people. That's my drive, is making sure that we find something that's different to everybody else, or it's better than everyone else if it's something similar.
Yeah.
That's my motivation that drives me every single day. Is I want to perfect things. Whatever it is, whatever we're working on in work, and I've always been that way in other jobs that I've had, is I want to provide the best solution I can. Private life, what drives me is my family. Simple as that. I'm a very simple person on that.
I agree with it. On the private side, yeah, I'm the same. Spencer, Soph, mum and dad, family, friends. While I've got Ailey on, got hang of it. They're starting a new business. I mean, I don't know if Ailey's still watching. Hopefully she is. What motivated you, Ailey, to start up a new business now, in such crazy times, in such... I mean, it's crazy. A, pandemic's still here. B, business has never been as insane as it is right now. Callum in the comments on YouTube, my motivation has always stemmed from customer satisfaction. I'll chase the pat on the back appreciation or that thank you before anything. That's nice. Because if Callum does a good job, he knows.
I like that. I'm a big believer in, and I've worked for big companies, I've worked for small companies, I've worked for good companies, I've worked for bad companies. My biggest saying is in life, and this is work or personal, I've got to get up and look myself in the mirror every day and be happy with what I've done as a person. That's my personality. I would not be able to be unscrupulous. I wouldn't be able to be... I've got to do things right, and I think that's a driver for me, is doing things right for people. And as Callum said, that pat on the back, that thank you, that, do you know what, you've changed things for us, you've got this for us, you've done well for us. It means a lot to me, that. And I know not everyone works like that, but that's what I strive for when I work.
That must be a satisfying feeling.
Yeah, sometimes it's not, because you want to perfect things, and you're never happy with, because I always want to get things absolutely spot on perfect. And it's hard, especially when you're doing new things. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some things that we're doing that other people have already done. There's some things that we're leading. There's some things that are still fairly new. There's some things that nobody's even touched properly that we do. But that's where it can be frustrating from my point of view, because there's things that we're doing now that I want to get perfect, and you've sometimes got to walk before you can run. So that it can be frustrating at the same time as rewarding,
Shan in the comments, she's saying, it doesn't affect me, but it's a discussion I have with my clients. Be proactive, not reactive. You don't have to say yes to everything. Schedule time off. That's a good point. Time off. Take time to plan for the future. The time off thing's big, There's a lot of us working in this industry that are absolutely knackered. And I don't mean that in any derogatory way at all. It's just the absolute volume of business is crushing people. Shan, you're absolutely right. Take time off. Totally understand. I suppose for me, what motivates me is proving to others that they're wrong. Or I tend to get told, for whatever reason, this won't work, that won't work, you can't do this, that won't happen, you're stupid for trying that, that's silly, that's daft, don't do this, don't do that. There's nothing that motivates me more than someone who tells me I can't, shan't, or shouldn't do something. Because when you... I guess this is just a natural reaction. Everybody has different reactions to different things. But if somebody tells me I can't do something, I am going to try 10 times harder to not only prove you wrong, but to then come after you as well. I will come for you. You tell me I can't do something, great for me. Keep telling me that.
Give me some right motivational material here to tempt you later and psychology stakes we work.
Thanks, Jason. No, but mate,
no,
listen,
it's right.
Listen,
it's right.
From the days I started up DGB, through social media, through the awards, everything I've ever done, because this industry's never really had competition. This industry's had a status quo. It's had a set way of doing things, the same people doing the same things, doing generally the same stuff, and then suddenly disruptors come in. You can't do this. I'm not letting you do that. Da da da. Give it to me. Give it to me all day long. I will not only prove you wrong. I will come after you. I will come after you because you, Kev. Kev says you can't give me £1 million. No, I can't. But I will get there. But I'm not going to give you it, Kev. Sorry. But that's just my natural reaction to things. And do you know what? I think that what stems from Lee is, I'm not in terms of stature, I am a short person, right? Now, me and Lee have some private conversations about this, and people engage with me differently in the way they engage Lee. And it's just down to, it's a physical size thing. I am a short person. I know that. I'm not particularly well built, and I'm not particularly tall.
You're like a Yorkshire Terrier that gets angry with its dragging its across the floor.
But then people treat me differently. I mean, we've seen it, haven't we? When me and you've been to stuff. And then they will talk to Lee differently. I hate that. But again, I use that as motivation. All right, you want to be derogatory, you want to do right, you want to take the piss. That's fine. Cool. That's fine. But count on this. I will prove you wrong, and I will come after you.
I tell you what, right?
That's what motivates me, and that makes me feel awesome.
I'm gonna go back to a couple of these comments. John, I can guarantee you now, this has nothing to do with Jason, but I can't be doing with this getting grief about being tight. I throw my money at... Listen, out of the two of us, just because my light bulbs aren't working today, I'm going to get a light for next week, right? And I can't be having this because I'm the most... I do chuck my... Listen, have you seen that meme online where...
We've got him.
Where it's a guy in a car and there's a crocodile outside him in sunglasses and it says something about, I'm going to be sensible with my paycheck this week or this month. And then it's got him, he's bought a crocodile with glasses on the side of him. That's me. I just throw my money. I'm too nice. I throw my money around. Jason's like a how can I put it? He's like a Scottishman at a wedding. He's got confetti on string. So I'm not the tight one.
Well, there goes any Scottish exhibitors we're going to get.
The Scottish guys know I love them.
Abigail, our business is only 8 years old. Our motivation is customer feedback and reviews. We are exhausted. 4 days coming up in August. I think think she missed 4 days off, I think.
Need a break.
Yeah, first break since last Christmas. Drive here is mainly down to me, open honesty. I am ADHD and autistic. My drive is insatiable. I often have to take feedback from our lads to slow it down. I work relentlessly. And then
my little lad is slightly on the autistic scale, Abigail, one of my little boys. I've got 3 kids, but one of them. And I tell you what, I've never known a memory like it. He's going to be some genius. And I swear down, it ain't come from my side. I know that much.
Yeah.
But I want to address this, the reason why they've set up this new company as well, because I think I started my first company in the last recession. And obviously, I know it's booming at the moment, but it's a weird time. It's not in general in the economy. And I've always found, and I've got a lot of praise for people starting in times like this, because it's brave to make a move. And I've got a lot of time. I hope that goes really, really well for you, and I'm sure it will. But a lot of the best companies I've seen have been born out of tough times, started in tough times. So I'm sure that'll go well for you, and good luck.
Ailey's come back with a comment about why she started her business, so...
That's what I mean. That's what we're just saying then.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. So she's right. I want this for myself. Why not? Why not? Some more comments. Napoleon syndrome. No, man. Because the difference is, Kev, I don't go aggressive at people. Is if they become an arse to me, if their initial reaction to me is bad, then I will get motivated. I won't say aggressive, but it really does spur me on to just take them down. And I mean this. I mean, Lee knows this. We've worked together for long enough. If somebody says the right or the wrong thing to me, it fires me up 1,000%, and you will be in my radar. Like, I won't just prove you wrong. I will come for you, and I will just completely make you regret just being a complete arse to me. That's what motivates me, and that's satisfying to me, because people shouldn't go around treating other people differently. Everybody should be the same.
But you're still quite young. As you get a little bit older, you'll realise that you still use that to fuel you, but don't take it too personal. There's always going to be people wanting to beat you down for a stick for different reasons. Some of it, what you don't realise is a lot of it is fear of things changing. It's not you. Well, it might be you yourself. They might absolutely detest you if they see you. But I'm sure someone
do. I'm sure I irritate the living shit out of people.
But listen, let me just go back, because there's a couple of comments here. Talking about the new business there. I really, really mean that. There's a lot of people who they're scared to take that plunge. So I think, I'm sure that you'll absolutely smash it on that. It's, you know what, as long as you're putting 110% in. And we've spoke about this, we've just had that comment there about the fact that people are willing to now buy online more than they ever have and spend large amounts. We've spoke about this several times, Haley, about over the last few months on this subject about the change.
Cars. People are buying 20, 30 grand cars online.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's not like it used to be. There's a move, and don't get me wrong, we're still in an industry that's probably 50-50 split. 50%. We've still got people sending faxes. I was talking
generously.
About that.
I know the point you're about to make. That 50-50.
I was talking to someone about that this week, but it's starting to move the other way now. But it's going to take years to totally transfer. But there's a big opportunity there for the people who do it well. And I've got to say, fair play for having the guts to go and do it. So I really mean that. Good luck. Abigail, talk about, like you said, the name. I could talk about this. Abigail, this is a conversation outside of this talk, but I'll talk to you about my little boy. Memory, honest to God. You can just ask him anything, and as long as he's heard it before, it's like that. I've never known anything like it.
Please tell me about it before. He has memory memory for days, man. It's insane.
Not days, like forever.
It's a phrase. It's a phrase, Lee. Yeah, I know.
I don't like it. I forget what I've done 2 minutes ago. In fact, I can't even remember your name, Jason. Dave.
Who are you? Who's this? What am I doing? No, I mean, I wish Haley all the best because I want to see the website. I don't think it's live yet. I've been trying to see if their website's live and it's not yet. So looking forward to seeing the website. But no, that's we've deviated a little bit there. But that's what motivates me: proving people wrong, putting them in the place, proving my point. Customers.
Alan said you wanted to buy it, and I've eaten the old buffet. You see, I've got Callum. I've just typed it in. I've got to let him feel like he's won every now and again.
Oh, yeah.
He likes a little win.
Okay.
He likes a little win. Jason. Give him an occasional win. When we get on to triple glazing and he's losing, he'll not like it.
Losing.
Anyway, talking a little bit more light-hearted. Let's get to. You like these? I'm only going to tell you a couple. I'll save some for later.
Come on.
I can't. I'm laughing before I even said it. Oh God, hold on. So my uncle's got 2 Labradors. One's called Rolex and one's called Timex. Watchdogs.
Oh God. Oh no. Kev, Lee, tell your lad to remember that Jace can't give me £1 million. No, Kev, I'll manage to remember that one myself. You're good on that one. I'm okay.
Oh, listen, I'll tell you exactly what he'll say about that. He'll say he can't give you 1 pence. Can't even buy you a bit. Can't even sponsor you when you've done 1,400 miles walking.
Oh, he's so bitter about that. Mate, let's not go into this. Not on here. Honestly. Listen, Kev, if Fenix goes well, you never know. You never know. I'm not doing
I've already said. I already said a couple of podcasts ago that Jason's got to get first round in the shots. He nearly died.
I nearly died because I can't do shots. It weren't the purchasing of them. Anybody who's seen me drink, Lee, knows I cannot.
Yeah, you're like a budgie with your chapped lips.
What happens when I do shots?
You are pretty poor.
It's weird, isn't it?
I won't do that.
Weird. Can be on beer all night. Spirits just do not agree with me at all.
Anyway, what's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot.
Oh no.
Told you dad jokes tonight.
Oh, that's Christmas cracker standard, is that?
Told you, proper dad jokes tonight, mate.
That is Christmas cracker standard.
Your cake style. I just Bob Marley like his donuts.
We're jamming. We're jamming.
Now we started.
Now we've started. Hey, Peter Kay's coming back, isn't he?
Good.
He's doing 2 charity gigs for a woman. She's got a terrible disease. It's a form of cancer, I believe. And he's agreed to come and do 2 charity nights.
Who has?
Peter Kay?
No, who's got cancer?
I think it must be someone he knows or a cause he believes in.
He took some time off because of it. I didn't know we'd announced who it were because he kept it quite private.
No, I'm not saying... No.
Peter Kay, live before, he's brilliant.
Yeah, he is brilliant. No, what I'm saying is he's coming out of retirement to do these 2 gigs.
Oh, cool.
For this particularly ill person.
We'll try and get tickets for that. We'll try and get tickets.
You won't. They sold out in 30 minutes.
We'll try and get some.
Oh, yeah, from scalpers for like $5,000 each. Okay.
Peter Kay's brilliant. I went to watch him. I've been to see Peter Kay. I've been to see Jimmy Carr. I've been to see Lee Evans.
Oh, Lee Evans. I've seen Lee Evans. He's really funny.
I could go on. I've been to see pretty much everyone.
Kevin, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, 1975, is the only movie in the Rocky franchise not to feature Sylvester Stallone. Well, yeah. Kev, things are so bad on the M25 that the Samaritans are running mobile patrols.
I think we
Any
say
distressed motorist will have a hard shoulder to cry on. Yes.
I think Michael's either fell asleep or he's gone.
We've stopped talking tech. Sorry, Michael.
We can talk football now.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid Lionel Messi and Jack Grealish is on the list tonight.
And Harry Kane. Harry Kane not turning up for training.
What's he doing? Where is he gone?
Well, he hasn't gone anywhere yet.
Yeah, but where is...
Man City want him.
Well, they've just bought Grealish.
Yeah, and they're probably going to buy Messi, and they're probably going to buy Harry Kane.
Harry Kane is going to go for a very similar amount of money for Grealish. Are you telling me they're going to spend £200 million on just two players?
Mate, the richest owners in football by a million.
It's just obscene, though, isn't it? It's obscene amounts of money.
It's only what Paris Saint-Germain did with Mbappe and
Coutinho.
Well, they bought about
Didn't they buy Coutinho? Was it 141 million?
500-600 million they spent, but
did PSG? Am I right? PSG bought Coutinho from Liverpool at 141.
No, that were Barca. They paid about 90 million, but then he's moved somewhere. I don't know where he's gone. Mbappe cost I can't remember, 200 or 300 million.
Yeah, let's have a look. I'll Google it now.
But anyway, let's talk about real football and the real signing. Sheffield Wednesday have signed 11 new players.
Have they?
Yeah.
With what money?
Well, we let all the squad go pretty much, apart from Barry Bannon. We've got Bannon. Barry Bannon.
Just trying to find how much. I'll let you talk. I'm just trying to find how much Mbappe went for.
But we've made, for our league, because we got relegated last year, we've made some decent signings. So I'm not usually optimistic, but I'm sure they'll crush my dreams tomorrow on first game. So
who are we playing? Mbappe fee. Mbappe.
280 million euros.
No, miles off, mate.
What were it?
Okay, so this is okay. So PSG are thinking of selling, okay, and they've set a price tag of 125 million euros.
Oh, John, are you a blade? Oh dear, John, listen.
You've lost a friend in Lee now. Sorry, mate.
Listen, John, I've got a lot of Sheffield United friends. I've got a lot of Leeds friends. One of my friends works for Youth Academy at Sheffield United, by the way. So there you go.
So I can't find what he went to PSG for.
It was about 280 million euros.
What was the transfer fee? Right, let's go on Wikipedia. Let's have a look. Right, so he went from Monaco to PSG.
144 million
pounds. I've got 180 million euros here.
I know it. I thought it was 280.
180 million euros for wow. And has he been worth it?
Alan Burgess is here.
Alan,
quick. Stop talking about him. Quick.
Alan, you've missed a motivational speech. You've missed Lee telling some terrible jokes. We've talked about Fenix at Telford, which hopefully we'll be seeing you there at. We've talked tech. We've covered quite a lot of ground in 90 minutes, pal. We're doing pretty well for us.
We're on sports. We can talk golf in a minute, Alan, if you want.
Sports.
Have you managed to get to Portugal, Alan, for your golf, mate?
I think he's still
here.
No,
you were trying to get across.
I think he's still here.
What
list are Portugal on now? Like the Amber plus watch list, question mark list. What are they on now?
I really wish I were there now. I'm not here.
You were there for 6 months.
Well, 6 months isn't
enough. wait, watch all the sympathy pour towards you, mate. What? Just, are you ready? There we go. So, in football news, usual stuff, usual stuff. Nice, wide, varied range of topics. Jack Grealish has left Villa to go to Man City for a cool 100 million. He's off to Portugal in September. I hope nothing changes before then, Alan, for you. Grealish to City for 100 million. And Messi has left Barcelona. So, question is, Lee, who replaces Messi? And
Barcelona can't replace Messi, although Aguero's gone there. Aguero's a good signing.
He's not different a Messi.
Player. No, he's a good player. To be fair, Aguero will rip that league apart. He'll score as many as Messi. It's just a different style of player. Who will replace Grealish? I tell you what, they've made a cracking signing in Danny Ings. Cracking signing before he's even gone. Villa have got a good manager. Is an ex-Wednesday. I wish we nearly got
biased
him.
Opinion.
Dean Smith's done a cracking job. I wish we had him as manager.
Mate, while your tuna fish boss is in charge, you ain't going to get no decent managers.
I know. I've resigned myself to defeat. That's life. Being a Wednesday fan's not great.
Bradford have got good odds to be promoted, you know. We've
that's because you've got more fans than most of the people in your League 17. That's what odds are based on. How many people bet, and you've got loads of morons chucking money at Bradford going up.
Oh, now then, he's had a couple of vodkas and he's feeling brave behind keyboard.
Don't worry, because in a month's time, when you've lost your first 4 games 6-0 to Bradford Park Avenue and
do you know?
And Frickley Athletic, your odds will be down to about 1 million to 1 there. So.
We had a very good pre-season. We lost 1 game, but we beat a lot of teams above us. I don't know. I'm feeling okay about it. I'm not saying automatic promotions, but I think we'll have a decent shout at playoffs. We have had the best pre-season for a long time. I always keep an eye on this kind of stuff, and the last few seasons pre-season have been garbage.
Pre-season don't mean.
No,
much.
I know, but it helps if you've got a squad that's
mate, while you're talking, 1 second, let me just throw a question out while you're talking. We've got time for an answer. John, being a Sheffield United fan, I'm quite interested in your opinion. Do you think you'll go back up? And do you think that letting Wilder go was correct? I'll let you answer that in your own time. But go on, sorry, Jason.
That's all right. So Bradford, we've done quite a lot of signing. We must have at least half a dozen, maybe 8 or 9 new players. But the new manager seems to be gelling the squad quite well, and we beat Blackburn. I think that was our biggest sort of scalp in the pre-season. We beat them 2-0 at home. I don't know. I'm feeling okay about it. If I feel safe enough, I would like to go back to a couple of games at Bradford. If I feel okay about it, I miss the build-up. I miss. So we used to drop Spencer off to get a babysat, and we'd go at lunchtime. We'd go a couple of pubs, get some drinks, go to the stadium, get something to eat afterwards, and go to a couple of pubs and get the train home. I miss that. I would like to, just the atmosphere, you know, the game atmosphere. I would like to get back into. And Bradford always get a good crowd. You know, we were the first club to genuinely make season tickets affordable.
I've got a lot of respect for them for that.
We slashed season ticket prices to £199 for an entire season ticket. And we doubled our usual season ticket sales from 9 to 18,000. And I was one of those. And the crowds were getting that game. Now, bear in mind, Bradford's a League 2 side with an ex-Premier League stadium. You've got 25,000 seats, which for a League 2 club is just it's ridiculous. But we were pulling in 20,000. which at Valley Parade it creates a hell of an atmosphere. And we had a good season. I'm feeling okay about it now. So I would like to get back there for maybe a couple of games this season at least.
Okay, look, we don't want to talk about, because I know everyone's not going to be interested in football.
No,
so quick one. Predictions, because the season starts not for the Premiership tomorrow, but the season starts for the lower leagues, right? So predictions, everyone type your predictions. Premier League winners and runners up, relegation, and then the leagues below. Just the normal leagues. Give us your predictions. I'm going to go, I'll speak to you about Sheffield United before we close off, John. I'm going to go Man City to win Premier, Liverpool runners up. I don't know what I want for relegation. Go on, Jason, you speak. I'm expecting some comments on this. We need some comments.
Well, you see, I would... You might laugh at me for this. I'm going to go Man United for a win.
Nah.
I do. I've just got a feeling. I think Liverpool peaked when they had their amazing season, the season before last. I think Man City might suffer a bit of fatigue. I don't know. I don't...
Well, for relegation, I'm going to go... Although I like Patrick Vieira, I think Palace are going to go down this year. I think Norwich will go down.
Do you think?
Yes, I do. And I think Watford will go down.
Mate, I suppose the one benefit if Man United did win the league is they'd stop moaning on social media. I mean, if ever there were a set of fans that moaned, Man United fans, man, life's good.
See, John's agreed with me there, Watford and Palace. I think the third spot is...
yeah, Watford's not a bad shout for relegation, I think. I don't know.
Watford, Palace and Norwich for me.
Norwich, yeah, I don't know. I think Norwich might sneak it. But yeah, if Man United win, they can stop mourning. They can be happy. They can live life. I have never seen a set of fans mourn more than Man United.
Anyway, come on, we've got to whistle through this. Who else is going to have a prediction? Going up from the Championship, I'm not going to go playoffs.
Have you got the tables in front? Have you got the teams in front of you?
I'm going to. I'm not. I know our division. I know first three divisions.
Hold on, then. Let me.
Bottom division, I'm not sure. I think that I made my predictions for Premier. I think West Brom and Sheffield United will go up automatic, and I'm going to go Yorkshire. I think Barnsley will go up through playoffs.
Well, West Brom and Bournemouth have just drawn their opening game tonight.
I think that Derby will go down because they're in a mess. I think that Peterborough will go down, and I think Millwall will go down this year.
I feel like Birmingham could get there through... yeah. I don't know. Keep an eye on Birmingham. I think West Brom are a very good shout for promotion, me. Millwall will be in the mix because they always are. And I won't count QPR out.
QPR have got some good young players coming through. I watched them a few times.
I won't count them out. I'm just looking at League One now. So...
League One?
Wednesday to be relegated.
This is just my heart, not my head.
Wednesday to be relegated.
Wednesday to go up with no. I'm not even I'm not that ambitious enough. To go up, I'm gonna throw a spanner in works here because no one will believe this. I actually think Bolton will go up after having a dodgy few years.
Is Peter Gray watching? He'd have loved that one.
Bolton are getting their act together. I think Bolton and Portsmouth will go up automatic. And I'm going to say...
I'm going to have to get a decent bottle opener. Hold on.
And I'm going to say... Not in playoffs. I'll have to come back to that. I'm not going to talk relegation. I think Bolton... I'll be one of the few people that actually think Bolton will go up. League Two. Well, I'll save this for when Jason comes back. Going up.
Bradford.
Going up, I think Bristol Rovers, and I think Exeter, and I think going down will be Bradford. There you go. That's my football tips. Anyone wants to lose any money? I'll be starting my accumulators tomorrow. See me, and I can.
Anybody wants to lose any money? Ask me about cryptocurrency.
Yeah, God, we'll get to that in a minute.
Mate, I'm telling you, Bradford. I'm telling you, are a shoo-in.
Anyway, sports will come off that now.
No, I'm going Bradford to be promoted.
Pingdemic. I know you've got a poll going at the minute on Twitter.
Oh yes, shall I have a look? Shall we have a look at the results?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's have a gander. Can I just say, Lee, on Twitter, just while I'm searching for my poll, Mike Rigby has approved of our decision to go to Telford.
Well, thank you, Mike. Very kind of your comment. Oh. Mark Calpin's just put his predictions there. Okay.
So on the 29th of July, I conducted a poll. Simple question: is the pingdemic affecting your business? 61% said yes. 39% said no. So a very, very clear majority saying people self-isolating is affecting them. And it will be. Now, there has been a big drop, Lee, apparently, in the number of people being pinged by the app. But
is that with people deleting the app?
There's a large proportion turning off the app or deleting it altogether, and they've just tweaked the app to make it less sensitive.
Will you even have an app that's going to tell you that there's a...
Oh, listen, Lee. Listen, if something's inconvenient, just move the goalposts.
It's either have it or you don't. It's either there's a problem or there's not. There's no... What does he say in Star Wars, little man?
There is no try, only do.
Exactly.
That could be odd.
That is my favourite saying.
There is no try, only do. So yes, because some of the analysts were saying that because there was a bit of a dip in case numbers, but it got to low 20s and they've now gone back up to the low 30,000s a day. But analysts are pointing out, people are probably lying. They don't want to self-isolate. They don't want to get tested even if they've got it because they know they're going to have to be off work. And there was an interview with the Zoe app, which is the COVID symptoms app. You record your symptoms on the Zoe app. Apparently that is quite a good representation of the state of play with the pandemic. And whilst case numbers were dropping rapidly, the Zoe app was still rising. So people have clearly been going, I know I've got it, I ain't going to get tested, or I know I've been pinged, I ain't going to record it.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
So, but yes, the pandemic. As if business wasn't hard enough, no buggers at work. Because everyone's being pinged, you got to stay at home.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. I've been speaking to a lot of people in the industry and outside the industry that have said the same. And obviously I can't mention names, both in and out the industry, but there's the same conversations. People are turning it off because it's a point where it's causing havoc to life in general.
You can't run a business. Look, there's still a high number. There's still a decent amount of the virus knocking about, and it means. I mean, you could be being pinged forever. You could be pinged every week. If you've got bad enough luck, you could spend months at home because you're being pinged all the time. That you can't.
Jason, I'll not mention names, but I've had a long conversation this week with a big manufacturer, and they had 16 staff off, which pretty much closed the factory, or caused enough problems to nearly close the factory. That's not a one-off, by the way.
I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not.
I mean, luckily, they're a big enough company to be able to move people around, and cover for it. But I'm having this conversation on a regular basis with suppliers in this industry, so it's happening all over different industries as well. Obviously, it's a problem. Hopefully, I mean, I think I'm going to be honest.
I like the side of it,
because people are going to turn it off.
Well, I think we're coming out the other side of it. I think. Well, whilst ever we've got the virus and the pandemic, we'll always have the app. And whilst I still think there's a fair few million that have got the app on their phone, there's going to be plenty being pinged.
I'm going to really reel back here. Callum said Mexico is now on the red list.
Our surveyor was meant to be going to Mexico in October, and we said to him, "Do you really want to be booking?" Because Mexico's never really got on top of their problem. Mexico's sort of been... If you look at their peaks and troughs, have not been sort of big dips. They've just been like bad, all the way through. And it's like, do you really want to be booking there? It's probably not the best place in the world right now to book. It'll be fine. And now it's on the red list. So it's probably going to have to cancel. It's meant to be going in early October.
Why did the Mexican push his wife off the cliff? Tequila! So the Mexicans put on the floors in the house. Underlay!
So,
there you go, sorry.
So we're waving off any Mexican exhibitors for Fenix in Telford.
Few more silly jokes for you.
Sarah's back watching. We're still here, Sarah. This is what happens. We don't just do an hour podcast, me and Lee. It's go big or go home. You know, we'll be here for like 7 hours. We'll still be here tomorrow morning when you tune back in. We'll still be here.
Anyway, we've not said it for a while. What's everyone drinking?
I want to know if Callum's on his super IPAs yet.
I'm still on my vodka.
Callum bought a bunch of 8.3 IPAs. Let's have a look at them. It's the...
I want to know if Alan's still here and if he's in his gin cupboard. That is the most impressive gin cupboard I've ever seen.
That is an impressive. Anybody who that was a couple of months ago, I think, when Alan joined us. He gave us a tour of his gin stash. That's a bar and a half. So Callum has bought some Joker IPA. He told it was 8.3%, I believe. So, wondering if Callum's got onto the hard stuff yet, onto the finishers, as I call them. So yeah, there you go. I tell you what I had, Lee, in Devon. So I spent a week in Devon, as you may or may not have known. And went to the supermarket, bought some beers. I bought one infused with nitro, Lee. Nitro. Yeah. Makes it very, very smooth. Same texture as John Smith's, yeah? And Guinness. Yeah. But it's a beer and it's infused with nitro. That was awesome. That was 9%.
Right.
That was a finisher, but tasted just like coffee. Loved it. You'd have hated that. You hate coffee, don't you? Lee don't drink coffee.
I don't hate coffee. I'm just allergic to it. I can't drink it. It gives me migraines. Not that I hate it, just can't drink it.
Callum's on the iPad. Is it half a bottle before my 8.3? Just a small G&T. What's Alan's definition of small? That much. Or is it that much? So Sarah's back watching. Hello, Sarah. Hope everything's good with you. So as I mentioned earlier, we do actually try and plan a little bit what we cover on these things.
I tell you what we haven't covered today, mate. We haven't put this on the agenda, but it was 10 years ago today since the big riots across, well, mainly in London,
yes,
but then
it was. You're absolutely right. That was a scary moment. I remember watching that, thinking, because it was spreading. Birmingham, Liverpool, Leeds. It was precarious for a moment. And that all started, if I remember, was it the police shot Mark Duggan dead? And then in Tottenham, in London, and then it sort of lit a tinderbox and exploded from there.
Bad times.
I remember watching it on TV. It was insane. There were furniture shops being burned down. It was insane. But yeah, 10 years. Didn't realise it was...
Years ago, yeah. And
That's bad.
just in news, you've still got EU and UK fighting over sausages. Sausages. There you go.
I mean, just... Yeah.
Some cracking headlines, isn't it, in news? That's why I always like to keep an eye on news, as you know.
It's for the daft headlines.
I avoid the news like the plague because it's balmy.
It's yeah. I'm just looking now. Let me just scroll down. Hold on. No, I've not got it. You wanted to talk about Boris Johnson, Lee.
Oh God, yeah, okay. Are we at that time now?
It's nearly 10 o'clock, probably. Boris Johnson. Boris and the miners.
Boris and the miners. Yes, Boris and the miners. Look, I've been brought up, my family, I'm from High Green originally. I've lived in Barnsley, mining communities. Boris has opened his mouth and started taking the mickey, telling jokes about how we were needed. And
well, just to be clear, he said it was probably good for climate change that the pits closed. That's what he said.
It's a context he said it in and starting jokes and laughing about it.
Yeah.
It's not going to go down well in the Labour areas. And I'm going to use, literally, I've moved to a part of Barnsley that's near to Grimethorpe. Now, anyone from this region knows Grimethorpe is one of the biggest strongholds of mining in this area, in Yorkshire. Grimethorpe has been demolished because of that decision. There's nothing. Grimethorpe is nothing. There's nothing there. It's decimated. And there's many, many towns and villages up and down the country that are exactly the same. And it's got worse and worse because of the mines going. It gets worse and worse, and the economy crumbles, and other things happen. And as we know, we had Sash Windows up there. That's hard times, and now they've not got that. And to make light of something that serious, especially with his reputation at the moment for, let's be honest, the north and south divide, all joking aside, that we can have a laugh about it. It's not going to go down very well in the red areas of the country, what he said. He has committed absolute suicide for the Conservative Party in them areas.
Callum saying, Boris doesn't help himself. I grew up near 3 pit estates and that won't have been received well. Kev, realistically, we can't get window fitters. How the hell would we get people to go down the mines? Look, coal mining's dead. I mean, look, from a climate change point of view, there's no future for coal mining anyway because it's a dirty industry. Even with carbon capture technology, it's not a viable option. But Lee's got a valid point. The scars up here, due to them,
they run deep, mate.
They're very, very deep, and
for a good reason as well. I don't here. I mean, every mining area in the UK.
Yeah, it's. So I suppose my question, Lee, is he manages to deflect most things. Boris Johnson has got away with
that. Don't get deflected in this.
No. So this is my question. He's got away with pretty much everything he's ever done, and most politicians wouldn't. They wouldn't get away with it. For example, if Boris Johnson had been caught doing what Matt Hancock did, I still think he wouldn't have resigned. Matt Hancock resigned. Yeah. But
I don't think it's going to do anything to his position. but I think he's damaged the party moving
But
forward.
up until now, he's held a relatively healthy poll lead. Do you think this is the one thing that will start to damage it?
100% it is, yeah. In these areas, it's going to... I mean, John's just commented there, he's from South Hemsel. I've just moved away from South Hemsel, John, so I know South Hemsel well. That's why I mentioned Frickley joking about earlier. I lived on edge of Southampton. I used to go and watch Frickley play football. But I mean, listen, it runs deep. The mining, they're being decimated because of what's happened, and you can't make comments like that and make light of it. The hatred for the Conservative Party and Margaret Thatcher in them areas is huge. They've done a lot of reputation building over the last probably 10 years, and they've won seats I never thought they would. That's just put them back another 10, 15, 20 years. That is, what he's done is, do I think it'll affect him? No. Do I think it'll affect the part? 100% it will.
So the MP that represents Grimethorpe at the moment is Labour. It's Stephanie Peacock.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to change at the next election. You see, there's a working theory that Boris won't even stay the term. There is a working theory that it may not even last to the end of the year. I think some have commented that he wants to see the sort of back end of the pandemic out. Maybe leave with a healthy-ish poll lead, which obviously those comments are not going to contribute to. But you can clearly see Rishi Sunak as being lined up as the next PM. Boris won't stick around for the full 5 years. I really don't think he's got the... He hasn't got the backbone to do that, because I don't. I think he'll want to resign as a winner. I don't think he'll want to lose anything. But I don't think he's got the stickability. You know, let's face it. For any prime minister, whether you're Labour, Conservative, whatever, the past 2 years have been awful. You know, you've had to resolve Brexit, you've had to win an election, and then you've had an awful pandemic, the worst one in 100 years. And then an economic crash and recovery and ridiculous debts, and now inflation spike. You know, there's a lot on a prime minister's plate right now, and depending where you read and what you read, there's a theory that he won't see that out. He'll hand over to somebody else, and then that
seems to be a one-man wrecking ball. It's like, I don't know. It's like a wrecking ball.
He's a very good example of someone who can... Look, you can't deny it. He's got charm and charisma. Now, but in terms of political skill, and we know this now, because obviously if you believe what all the stuff Dominic Cummings is coming out and saying, let's face it, it is believable. Some of the shit that Dominic Cummings is coming out with, sort of revealing sort of the inner workings of what's been going on in government, you can believe some of the claims he's making. Rishi Sunak, on the other hand, you know, he's quite boring. He's pretty straight-laced as a character, I think. He's certainly not as a bumbling fool as Boris is, but, you know, I suppose Rishi is sort of your typical sort of Tory. Boris isn't. Kev there. I mean, this was going to be another one. Johnson won't lose. He's lined enough pockets in this money fest to get looked after when he quits. Oh, you mean afterwards? Yeah, see, Boris could resign, and obviously he'll always do well for himself afterwards. But I think he'll want to leave the messy work of an election prep to somebody else. I think he'll want to leave having not lost anything. I don't know. I think Rishi Sunak will be next. I think Rishi Sunak will fight the next election, Lee. I don't think Boris is going to wait 3 more years. I think he's going to hand it over to somebody else.
Yeah.
He's having another baby now. Well, he isn't. Carrie is, but you know what I mean.
Which one of his mistresses is that with?
So, do you know what? It's the one thing... Look, for his politics, we can criticise him quite easily. For his personal life, I mean, he got a lot of shit. I looked on social media. Having a child, it's a fantastic thing. Just criticise him for everything else. Just let them enjoy that particular moment. I don't like it when people start getting criticised for, well, how many kids you had. I don't care about that. It's nobody else's business, and who cares? What does it matter?
I'm not going to go this deep. You're not talking about normal people here with family values.
No, listen, they've suffered a miscarriage, which is a terrible, terrible thing. And I've had 2 friends who have suffered through that, and it's awful. And now they're having one that's due to be here with us at Christmas. I think that's a nice thing. Put politics aside for a minute. The 2 have gone through something awful, and now they're going to get something nice at Christmas through a baby. His politics can be criticised endlessly if you want, but I don't think let them enjoy that. They've gone through a lot. They've clearly gone through some private trauma, which we know is awful. I mean, like I say, I've had 2 friends who have gone through miscarriage. It's an awful thing. So let them enjoy that. But we can criticise his politics quite easily. So there you go. I know Lee wants to come back at that, but I don't think he should.
I'm not going to talk about him as a human being because I can't. But I'm not against conservative. Look, I'm pretty open, but as a person, he's not a normal human being. But anyway, but back to normal stuff and light art and stuff. I think we should get on to, because we haven't talked about this for a while, and it's a while since I've been on.
Triple glazing.
Looks like I'm going to drink vodka straight there from bottle. I'm not, I promise you.
Classy Barnsley lot is Lee.
I promise you I'm not, not until it's a meet-up. What's everyone been watching on Netflix and stuff? I'm back on Billions. I've started rewatching it again.
Billions and billions and billions, as Donald Trump liked to say.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Billions, yeah. That's what I'm watching again. Oh, and I started watching Black Mirror again, but I don't know whether you've seen that.
Charlie Brooker did that, didn't he?
You need to watch it, Jason. You'll like Black Mirror.
It's Charlie Brooker, isn't it?
Yeah. That's based around stories that are based on future tech, mostly.
Yeah.
Most of it. Some of them are a little bit of an offshoot.
I watched the Black Mirror one where the Prime Minister had to...
That's the weirdest one. Out of all of them you could have watched, that's probably the worst one. It's like, what's going on here?
They faked the kidnap of the princess.
Yeah, and he had to pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's probably the rest are quite future tech oriented around the stories. That one's probably the worst one you could have watched.
He's a dark soul, isn't he? Charlie Brooker.
Some of the writing in it is fantastic.
Kev, I knew this would be brought up. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, we did promise a beer tasting meet-up, didn't we? Look, as you can understand, with us announcing Fenix at Telford, we've been pretty busy. So, I think what we need to do is arrange it for a time where we've got nothing significant coming up. So, the next significant thing we've got coming up is obviously the main event in early September. So I think, Lee, is it worth organising something later on in September for that?
Do you know what I fancy doing? And I know it's a little bit off the cuff, but maybe the Saturday after the show, because we've got the live streaming during the day, is maybe the Saturday night have a networking podcast where we have the beer tasting.
Shall we invite people to come to us in person?
Can do. People are up for it.
Let's plan it. Let's think about it. But that's if we can get. Now, do we do it at a venue or do we do it here?
It's up to you. It depends if you want to be the host. We can organise something, but maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea doing it on the Saturday after the streaming, because we've got the Wednesday, Thursday. Hold on, what have we got?
it's like, just for clarity, let's just not confuse.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was right. Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Then the Saturday's the streaming
day. Yeah.
And then on that night, we could do the podcast, because we would have been doing the podcast, I think, that weekend, that Friday, but we'll not be doing it because it's a show. So if we do the podcast the Saturday night, we can invite people to come and have in person. Do you know what, mate? We could do like, and I don't know whether we've got time to organise this, but we could do. You remember TGI? You're too young. TGI Fridays, where they had a bar where they filmed it, and they had an audience.
I do remember.
We had guests on. Maybe we could do something a bit funky like that if we're recording a podcast, and maybe book out a pub somewhere on his own, like book a pub up here, and invite people to come up. It's something we might be able to. We'll have a look. We'll see if we can sort that out and invite people.
That sounds cool. I think we'd need 6 of us. We've got cameras, so we've got the equipment. We've got the camera. We've got the speakers. We've got the.
If we can book a room in like an old school ale pub,
that'd be cool. Chris Miles does it on Radio X, but obviously it's. Yeah, I think that's filmed as well. Yeah, they do. Well, they used to do that once a month. Okay.
We'll have to see if we can organise it.
Yeah, let's see if we can organise that. Kev, would you be up for that, pal? Callum, would you be up for that? Who else we got?
I think there's a few that would probably come.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay.
I think we'd get. And listen, it's not just people for the beer tasting. We can invite people to come and watch it and enjoy audience party, just like doing this, but in real life. Pub will be open. We'll film it live and we'll send it out if we can organise it. We need to.
Yeah, let's see if it makes. If we can do it and it's doable, we'll do it.
Yeah, let's have a look. We'll see if we can organise it.
So, well, that would be the 11th.
Yeah. Could be like the old Twitter meets that we used to do. Quite interesting to do that, to be fair.
Okay.
And we've been talking about getting everyone together. It depends, obviously, what's happening with COVID and stuff. But
well,
if we can get a pub.
Okay. Let's look into it. Let's look into it. Okay.
But anyway, what we're watching? Billions for me.
I've got to be honest, mate. I've been rubbish with TV. The work's been that busy. Saturdays are great. Kev says I'm in. There we go. That's 3 of us. So that's 3.
Anyone got any good recommendations for new stuff that's out there that we can watch? Because I'm just going over old things that I've already watched now.
It'd be an option. Can I wear my PJs there too, like I do for your virtual pub? At least you're wearing clothes, Callum. I mean, you could have said you were wearing nothing, which is fine. But
Jason's like newsreaders. He's only got his top on. He's got no one underneath. Beneath his desk, he's naked.
Don't tell everybody.
You can see with reflection on windows.
I will be in France during the Fenix show, so working remotely.
Oh.
Working on his swing.
Wine tasting, Alan.
Cool. Okay. No, on the TV front, I think no. I've been pretty boring, to be honest. That's terrible. So fancies watching The Walking Dead. She doesn't like.
Have you never watched Walking Dead? You two.
If it was up to me, we would have ages ago. But Soph doesn't like.
Get it watched.
Soph doesn't like zombie stuff.
Get it watched.
She's only just coming around to the idea.
Get it watched. Early stuff's better than later stuff. Early stuff, but first 6 series you'll have a ball. Not so sure after that. Kev's into his gardener's world. I keep forgetting about that. What's going on in World of Gardening, Kev?
Plants.
Oh, interesting.
Lots of plants and grass and seeds. And
my landlord stroke neighbour's very kindly given me some plants around my house, and I've done quite well.
Whoa, what kind of plants, Lee? The ones that go outside or the ones that go on your roof?
Definitely outside. But they look really pretty, and I've done all right so far. I've managed to keep most of them alive.
John Vanstone has joined us on Facebook at this late hour. Good evening, John. Return me call, man. I rang you this morning. Return me call. No, I have been watching nothing. I've been terrible. I've just been working and working and working. Rubbish. What else was on this agenda, Lee? Because we came up with a list. Like I say, we do try and plan these things, but we
do you know what? We've ploughed through it today. We've pretty much covered everything already.
10 past 10. This is early.
I know.
All right.
You know what, though?
We'll just keep on going.
We've not had as much participation from the audience today, which is, come on, boys and girls.
No, YouTube's been good. Facebook's always less. YouTube's been pretty good, to be fair. YouTube's been all right. Yeah. I think we always get a better viewership on YouTube. I don't know why that is. Because we have more people follow us on Facebook than YouTube, but we get a lot more on YouTube than Facebook.
No, do you know what? It's not that far apart, Facebook and YouTube, in terms of followers. LinkedIn, we've got most of us followers. It depends what links you're sharing. I bet you're sharing YouTube more than Facebook. You know, when you're sharing it.
Yeah, I probably am. Yeah.
But yeah.
What can we do to get Lee to go top notch? Lee likes to grow his hair. What can we do to get him to grow his hair?
Have you still got your top notch? I keep forgetting that. You see, I try and ignore it now.
Have you not? It's getting quite long, look.
Them pictures you sent me before I went abroad, my hair were really long.
Well, this is it. I mean, yes, I had a picture on my phone of Lee. Was it a year since you had your haircut and then when you got your haircut in Portugal after that?
It wasn't far off that. I got it cut before I went. The day before I went away, I got it cut.
Right.
And then I had it cut again it grew quite long while I was in Portugal. Then I had it cut before I come back, and I've had it cut again. But it got really long. It was like shoulder length. It got to. I've never had it that long ever.
Here's a thing.
Might try and grow it again
for charity. I don't know if I want to do this.
Who's saying what?
No, just
someone telling you to cut your hair off.
If I come out with this, once it's said, I won't be able to unsay it.
Go bald, but it's got to be proper bald. You've got to shave your head like razor shave, bald. You've got to be cue ball. Come on, bald.
It. No,
I'll sponsor you if you go bald.
Well, I'm just thinking for charity at Fenix at Telford.
Right, if you do it, I'll sponsor you 100% bald, but it's got to be bald. Not, I'm having my hair cut. Go bald, shave it like with a razor, cue ball, polish it with a bit of head wax. I'll 100%.
Oh, I don't know. I was just pondering last night, thinking because there's always a charitable affair at these things, and whenever there's a live event, there's always a charitable aspect to it. It's sort of like an event or like a black tie do or whatever. I don't know. If I get enough money, would I shave it off?
Cue ball.
I don't know. People in the comments, if
okay, I'm going to put you forward for this. It's done.
No, I have to agree to it. You can't just volunteer me. I have to agree to do it as well. You can't just force me.
Head shave, right? Head shave, shaven, proper shaven, cue ball, and wax.
Wax? I ain't waxing my head, man. No way am I waxing my head. Not a chance, man.
I'll give you more if you do both.
I ain't waxing my head. No way. I've seen videos on YouTube of people getting waxed on their head. It looks ridiculous, man.
Kev's having a go at my Yorkshire accent now. Bold.
Cut it bald.
No, bold.
I ain't waxing my head, man. No chance. No,
you don't need to wax your head. I mean, wax everywhere else. Legs, arms, chest. So head shave.
It's not being funny, mate. There's not much to wax. I'm not a particularly hairy person. There's no point waxing me. Most of the hair I've got on my head. I've got next to no on my arms.
All right then. So cue ball. I'd definitely sponsor you for that. Definitely.
I'll think about it.
I need a good cause.
I'll think about it. I'm not saying anything. I'm just thinking about it.
I've put you forward already.
I have to agree to it. You can put anything forward. I'm
going to get Ellen to write a PR piece on it.
Piss off. You can write nothing. Callum full wax. Don't help him, Callum. For God's sake. He needs no encouragement. Here's okay. Just while we're asking for ideas on stuff, so there is a DGB digital magazine being launched. Lee, you can just get that look off your face right now. Yeah, just get rodded, man. Honestly, ain't happening. Just forget it. forget I said anything. Like, this is the reaction I knew I was going to get. Lee's mischievous side just kicking in now. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's already got all sorts of ideas now. He's probably...
I'm going to shave your eyebrows, yeah?
That's what I mean. He's concocting all sorts of shit now, honestly. I was going to ask, what name should I give the DGB Digital Magazine? I don't want to call it the DGB Digital Magazine. It needs a name. So the first one's going out the end of August. Adverts are available for purchase. Front page is available for purchase. But I'm up for a name. I have some ideas, but I want to, if anyone's got any ideas of what I should call the DGB Digital Magazine, like my newsletter's called the DG Bulletin. DG Bulletin. So any ideas, let me know. It'd take him a year to grow a beard. Oh, Kev, that is terrible, man.
That sounds like he's trying to get a Newcastle accent.
I know. Oh, weird, man. You haven't got that right, Kev. Come up here and we'll give you some education on Northern accent. But see, mine is different to Lee's. I've still got some Bradford in me. Lee's fully South Yorkshire. I've still got bits of my Bradford left in me. Plus Wakefield. So I'm a bit in between.
We're proper Yorkshire, us, lad. Now then, say the cocky spaniel.
Oh God!
If I'm in Barnsley, I've got to say Fetty Potty Yarder. Fetty Potty Yarder goal. Are you licking football? Fetty Potty Yarder has scored. Now then, another licking.
A door's a doer. A door's a doer. A doer to me is someone who does things. A doer to someone in Barnsley is a door. 30-40. 30-40.
30-40. Do you want a Taya cake? Cake?
There's no...
Potato?
Dead's dead. I've died. Dead. Nearly deed. Oh, the band's... Honestly, South Yorkshire. Fantastic. The DG Blogazine. Edgy is that, Callum.
And then you get to Sheffield and we get grief for not... See, I were other side. I were nearer on edge, but in Sheffield, then you've got your Narden D. And I all right, day. Narden.
I don't know if John Vanstone's still watching or not, but I'm like his northern. He says to me, he says it's good to have a northerner. I says to know what real life feels like. I says we don't all live in Land of Roses and Golden Pathways where you live. It's real life up here, pal.
Anyway, I think Ducky's gone because he'd like this one. Now we're talking dialect. We need to go back to bread cakes situation.
What are you doing? You're trying to cause a war. Callum, be careful with saying nah then on YouTube in a Yorkshire accent. Nah then. What's wrong with nah then? Now then. Nah then. What's wrong? I don't understand.
Don't be talking like Jimmy Savile. That's what it means. Now then.
Oh, I didn't even. Oh God, yeah.
That's your end. That he's up Bradford way. Oh, Jimmy.
My end. I don't own the end. Don't tar me with that brush, for God's sake.
I'm tarring you with exactly what West Yorkshire deserves. Not like South Yorkshire. Keep him out of our way.
It was a stain on humanity.
Talking about bread cakes. Is there any other word for it, really?
Well, yeah, if you ask other people, but obviously they're wrong.
Never.
Bread what's cake. The other one? A balm. You see, a bread cake's self-explanatory. The material is bread, and it looks a little bit like a small cake, hence bread cake. It's not a tea cake, Tea cake has raisins in it. A balm cake. The fuck's a balm? What is a balm?
Lip balm.
Balm.
Lip
What's
balm.
the other one? Scuffler.
Scuffler.
That's what you do when you drag your shoes on the floor
A
and you
roll.
don't walk properly.
A roll.
A roll. Well, a roll's long for a start. That's long for a start. Because you roll it out. Roll. What's the other stupid names for the wrong for it? Balm, roll, scuffler. What's the other ones? There's about 20 different stupid names, isn't there? Let's Google it. Hold on. Names for a bread cake.
Same with crumpets. It's pikelets all day. Pikelet.
Whoa, whoa, what?
Cob. Oh, Callum's on with cobs.
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 Cobs. A cob, right? A cob
Hold
is
on the
two
cob.
things. A cob is two things. Cob is corn. That comes on a cob. A cob is also that mud and straw material that you used to build houses out of thousands of years ago. That's cob. Bread or cake, not both. Nah, you're wrong, Kev. You're wrong. Names for bread cake. I'm just Googling it now. Names for bread rolls, UK. Here we go. That's the one. A barra, Lee. A barra.
A barra's like a lifting device. It's a barra.
A wheel barra.
You barra. In a factory, you've got your lifting thing. You barra it. You barra like a pallet.
A batch.
What else we got?
A batch. See, that's the other one. Like a batch. A batch is a number of something. A batch is a large number of a particular item. Like I have a batch of socks. I have a batch of, I don't know. Kev's right. A cob is a horse as well. He's absolutely right.
I'm just gonna rate these as we go down. So what have we had so far?
Muffin. No.
Right, hold on. Let's go back to the first one. What was the first one? Come on, go back to the first one. What was the first one?
Sorry, I've just had a really interesting tweet. Like really interesting.
We'll come back to that in a minute. But what was the first one?
Well, the correct one is bread cake, obviously.
Yeah.
Next one was cob.
Wrong.
Cob is corn, a building material, or a horse.
We don't need to go into it. It's just wrong. So
Tea
that's
cake
wrong.
has got raisins in it.
That's wrong.
A balm is what you put
Is
on your
wrong.
lips.
Wrong.
Softy, I'm not even. Well, yeah, not even getting into that one.
Wrong.
A bap. Again.
Bap. I can. That's the nearest we're going to get to it.
I'll get on board with the bap.
That's the nearest thing.
No, Kev, you're wrong. Rolls are long. You put hot dogs in. You're wrong, Kev. You're gonna be uninvited to the Fenix thing in a minute. Just behave yourself, man. You're causing trouble here. Right. A stotty.
Wrong.
Apparently, they're claiming that's from Yorkshire.
Wrong.
Rubbish. I thought stotties came from North East. I thought that were North
I don't
East.
care. It's wrong. I'm giving you a list of wrongs.
Lee, this sounds nice. This is from Scotland. It's called a morning roll.
That's a different meaning in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
A morning roll.
A bun.
That's wrong, but it isn't wrong. Depending on what happens.
Yeah, the context.
Yeah.
A bun. Well, a bun's a bun. It's not a...
John's wife works at a bakery. Come on, John. Chip in. Tell her to chip in.
A muffin.
John, she must know it's a bread cake. Muffin.
Muffin. That's what you get from McDonald's in the morning.
Muffin. No, I'm not having that. That's wrong.
A cob is logical, which is why the Yorkshire borders don't get it. Cob, circle of bread.
Wrong.
Bollocks. A batch. Again, a batch is a number of something.
Wrong.
Oven bottom. An oven bottom is the bottom of my oven.
Oven bottom muffins, they call them at Warburton's. That's wrong. I do like oven bottom muffins, but they're bread cakes. They just need to change the name.
Roll.
Well, wrong.
Scuffler. As I've already said.
Absolutely wrong.
Scuffling is what happens when you drag your shoes when you walk on floor. That's scuffling along.
Oh, scuffle, you have a fight. It's a scuffle. It's wrong.
Oh, we've got some more here, mate. Hold on. Bin lid. From Merseyside. A bin lid.
I've heard it all now.
This is from Aberdeenshire, a buttery.
Buttery? This is just wrong. Wrong.
Southwest call them an oggy.
Wrong.
Oggy.
Wrong.
Cobb apparently is a Midlands thing.
Yeah, Cobb's very...
Stotty, northeast. I knew it was northeast, not Yorkshire. It's northeast.
Cobb's Derbyshire, kind of Nottingham way.
Got some more here. Barm cakes.
Wrong.
Scotch roll. That's a new one. Scotch roll.
Wrong. Pikelets.
No, pike. No, you see, that's a crumpet. It's a crumpet. What? Why? No. Crumpet's a crumpet.
Anyway,
crumpet.
On that note,
crumpet can also not mean a crumpet.
On that note, we've just crowned bread cake the king of bread.
Yeah, I think we've put everybody right, haven't we? I think we've.
We're back in 2 seconds.
No worries. I think we've put that right. Bin lids are just big rolls. No, Kev, you're wrong. Bin lids are just big bread cakes. That's what you mean. Cakes are made in a cake tin. Bread isn't. I love this. I love this debate. We have it every so often. I bloody love it. Kev, I'm not saying that. Behave yourself, man. I love the good bread debate. I've lost my Facebook feed on my phone. Hold on, bear with me. Just need to make sure we. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Live and kicking. Cool. Right, we're back on. Scotch morning rolls and muffins are totally different to what you're talking about. Find a Scotch morning roll in your local super. Thank me later. As Lee said, depending on the context, a morning roll is it's either bread or it's not. So, and Kev's just taking the tone way down. Kev's going to be bad in a minute. He's been terrible. I've missed loads of comments here. Let's have a look. Regardless of the regional name, Scotch morning rolls are the god tier. All right, let's Google a Scotch. Oh, Callum, don't enable him. What are you doing? We'll get banned. We'll get reported. So let's Google. Callum says it will change my life. Scotch morning roll. Scotch. Morning rolls. Right, I'm Googling it, Callum. Again, all I'm seeing is bread cakes, pal. They're no different to bread cakes.
Okay, so here's the thing, because this is a regional thing as well. What's the best food from a region?
Ooh, that's a good one.
We're quite famous up here for, depending on which part of Yorkshire, West Yorkshire for curries, and probably Yorkshire in general, especially North Yorkshire for fish and chips.
You see, I'm from the capital of curries, Bradford, and I can vouch.
What's the best meal for like that sort of meal? What's the best fast food or meal? You see, I'm not a big curry fan. I like Mexican food. I like Mexican food and tapas.
Why don't you like curry?
I don't like spicy food.
Even a little bit?
No.
Mexican's slightly spicy.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. It's a bit wrong. So I do like some Mexican food, but not the spicier Mexican food.
Well, all right, okay. So,
tapas is my favourite.
Yeah,
probably.
Tapas is nice.
Or traditional fish and chips, yeah. Especially from East Coast, North Yorkshire.
You see, I like curries. Obviously, I'm from the capital of curry in Britain, so my curry standards are quite high.
Birmingham's supposed to be the best area for curries.
I think Bradford's come out on top for quite a while, though. The curry scene in Bradford's mega. Mega. We don't have any clients in Bradford, just to use it as an excuse to go out and have a curry. But well, not that you'd enjoy it, but curry, no discussion. You can stop right now. I agree with Kev. No, I do like a curry.
You know what I've never understood? I don't. Maybe it's just me because I don't like seafood. But jellied eels.
Never had them. Never had them. Northeast is a Sunday dinner in a Yorkshire pudding wrap. Yorkshire pudding wraps. What an innovation! And of course, Yorkshire puddings from.
I've never had a Yorkshire pudding wrap.
Really?
Really?
You haven't lived.
You're looking at my size and saying really like as if I've ate everything ever. I know I'm fat, but mate, I don't.
You've never tried a Yorkshire pudding wrap, mate. It's the best thing in the world.
Yorkshire pudding wraps and deep fried Mars bars. I'm not.
Never had a deep fried Mars bar. Never had a deep fried Mars bar. Never had jellied eels.
I don't like seafood. I tried octopus once. It were just like chewing cardboard.
Octopus has to be cooked very. If you cook octopus too long, it becomes massively chewy, like straight away. Octopus is literally like you flash it in a pan and that's it. You're done. Squid's a bit different. You've got a bit more leeway with squid. Love seafood. The one thing I would like to try, and I suppose if we ever get back to America, I would try this in the right place, is Louisiana crawfish. So I watch a lot of food videos on YouTube, and sort of New Orleans, Louisiana, the southern states have this thing where they boil crawfish. It's all seafood, but they put all these spices and mixes and herbs and all this stuff in, and then they boil this. It's just pure seafood. It looks amazing. That's the one I would love to try. Sort of southern style crawfish from America. That sounds awesome. But mate, I mean, I've just banged on about curry, but you know what my favourite food is? I'm a burger fan, aren't I?
Did you ever used to watch that Man vs. Food on Sky?
Every time, every single time.
You ever see that one when he ate that burger that were big, near enough as big as him? That were obscene.
The issue with us, I mean, we've done that. Remember when you tried that Man vs. Food challenge?
Well, I might as well have not even bothered.
No, but do you not find that when you do those challenges, like you sacrifice on the quality of the food, the quality is just crap?
Mate, I was crying after. I couldn't move. I couldn't even drink after I
told you not to do it.
I didn't even make a dint in it. It was like.
Told you not to do it. Told you not to do it.
But that weren't even anywhere near the kind of epic stuff he took on.
No, I've watched all of his stuff, and I've watched all of Epic Mealtime stuff as well on YouTube, and some of the creations they made, man, were insane. But no, the big burger stuff were awesome. Kev, I get that. Honestly, my favourite food by a country mile is burgers. I love curry, don't get me wrong, and I've just vouched for Bradford, but honestly, burgers. I could eat burgers all day long. And I've probably tried from every takeaway and every restaurant worth going to in this city where I live. I've probably tried every one. Just the combinations and the flavors. I don't know. I think if you eat the right places, burgers can be awesome. Honestly, love it. Callum, Man vs. Food with Adam Richman was incredible. It was.
It's not same now. He's disappeared.
No, it's not. You know how he had to leave for health reasons.
I guess he would. Did you ever see early stuff? He was quite thin, you know.
Yeah, but by the end he was quite big.
Well, obviously, he was going to turn big doing that.
I watched him in an interview, and people were asking, "Oh, what do you do? Like, what do you do to prepare, or what do you?" And he was saying he works out a lot prior to the food, so he'll do his filming. You know, the other restaurants he goes to visit before the one of the challenge he does. And he was saying now obviously he doesn't do. It takes a couple of days. You can't just eat all that food then go to a food challenge. He'll do the touring of the other restaurants, and then he'll work out massively before the food challenge itself. But yeah, some of the stuff he did was insane. But yeah, if you watch his early series and then the sort of the end of his series, he put in a fair bit of weight. I suppose that's the nature of the job, isn't it? It's ridiculous food for a living.
Alan Burgess has just said the Cattlemen's Association in Harrogate, £64 steak or 32-ounce burger.
£64 steak? That can't be right. Do you mean 64-ounce steak, Alan? £64 steak would be 4.5 stone. No,
I think
it must mean ounces.
It's Holiday Inn now. It used to be called something different in Barnsley. It's in Dodder, just off Junction 37. What were it called? Brooklands Hotel. It's Holiday Inn now. Holiday Inn have bought it. They do a challenge with the Barnsley chop.
Barnsley chop. There you go.
It's like having a cow on your plate. It's it's huge. It's like it's got this big bone. Obviously, it's ridiculous. I've seen people serve it up, and I'm like, how are you even trying? So,
Callum's got a good comment there. Who here has completed the Harry Ramsden's whale plate? We've got a Harry Ramsden's near Leeds Bradford Airport. I've seen it. It's huge. I mean, it's not normal cod, man. It's a bloody salmon. It's huge. It's absolutely massive. The milkshakes from Harry Ramsden's are very, very nice. Yeah, so he's right. So Alan's is a 64-ounce steak or a 32-ounce burger. Eat in 1 hour and you don't pay for it. That's, yeah. So what would I go for? If we were to do that challenge, Lee, you see, the burger would tempt me, but then I think the bread would hold you back. I'm guessing you get served fries with either the steak or the burger. I assume you'd be having to have sides with that. I'd probably be tempted for the steak because I know the bread is clangy. It fills you up. I'd probably be tempted to go for the 64-ounce steak, medium rare, and then whatever sides go with it. But honestly, burgers, Lee, is my thing. My last meal on earth will be a burger. Debs is watching on Facebook.
Hey,
good evening, Debs. How is the Lake District?
Is she in Lakes, is she?
She is. She's having some time off, I believe. Some well-deserved time off. Hope you got there safe, and the weather's... let's face it, the weather's shite. So, but
we've had a few new people on today. People who might have just been watching and not commented before. We've had Mark Calpin, we've had John Watkin, we've had Haley come on. Obviously, it's nice to see
Alan's back.
Alan back. Sarah's back.
Debs is back.
Fredders came back for a bit and then he disappeared. I think Fredders might have fell asleep. He's been busy. They were telling me how busy he is. I still miss his quiz days with Glasgow Mac and.
Where's Glasgow Mac gone? And
what Jeff said.
What Jeff said. I need to get Jeff back. We buy from him now, so I've got some influence with him. I need to say to him he's got to come back. Alan said it looks like a house brick. Jesus.
I bet it does.
I bet it does for 64 ounces. Kev saying, got to be honest, I think these food challenges are perverse. Really poor, cheap TV. A sad indictment of plenty. Do you know what? He's got a fair point. These programmes are completely self-indulgent. I watch Epic Mealtime. And the one thing they got right is, and they got asked this in the comments, is they used to make these ridiculous food things. Burgers and lasagnas. They were stupid, like 100,000, 120,000 calories. They're massive things. But fair play to them. The food they had spare and left over, they didn't just chuck it. They actually went to their local They actually went to their local food, from Canada, whatever they call food banks in Canada, and homeless shelters. They actually gave the food to the charities and the homeless shelters. So at least they were responsible enough to know that whatever food was left over, they actually gave it to someone who would appreciate it. So at least they did that. But generally, Kev, yeah, I mean, look, I enjoy watching it because I like food, but I also agree it's a complete waste. Most of the time, it's a complete waste of food. Other than the spice challenges, this is one thing me and Lee have toyed around with. So people who watch YouTube, there's a program called...
You've got more chance of platinum bomb than me getting involved in that.
Hold on, I haven't finished my sentence yet.
I know you're and you don't need to. I'm not getting involved. If you want to do it, if you want to burn your mouth and roof your mouth off, feel free.
It's called Hot Ones. If you watch YouTube, it's on a channel called First We Feast.
Yeah, YouTube Hot Ones. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So that show is the interview. It's generally a celebrity. They come on, and there's 8 chicken wings cooked in increasingly spicier hot sauce. And I've always thought it'd be a good idea. I'm okay with some spice. I just think it'd be funny to watch me and Lee just suffer under serious spiciness.
Only watching you, but I ain't doing that.
But I just thought it would make good viewing. But I would be listen. If somebody likes the spice, I am open to this idea. If somebody wants to come on in person, so we'd have to do it live here. We'd cook the wings in the we'd pick various 8 hot sauces with increasing spice and replicate what they do on Hot Ones. I'd be up for that, just for the viewing pleasure of others.
Mate, I once ordered a Zinger tower meal instead of fillet tower meal from KFC.
Don't tell me that were too spicy.
It was, honestly. My mouth were going to explode. I was gutted.
Ooh,
you know when you're
KFC
forward,
too spicy for me.
you know when you're right looking forward to something to eat, and it were like, what's going on? What's this? I didn't realise, mate, I am not going into no spicy food. It's not going to happen.
Callum, the 911 wings at Hooters used to be a test. I like a Vindaloo and a Madras, but they used to be hardcore. Yeah, there's one hotter than a Vindaloo. It's called a Fahl. Fahl. I don't get the people who like eating that and who say they genuinely like the taste. I think when things get too hot, you're just eating fire. You can't taste things when they're too hot. I mean, when you get to Fahl level, I mean, Adam Richman on Man vs. Food, one of his challenges was to eat a Fahl. It weren't a big meal, just a regular meal. It was just a Fahl curry, but it was stupidly hot. The guy making it had to wear protective gear and all that stuff. But, I mean, he was sweating from his eyes, his face. Callum's taking piss now, aren't you? Mate, a Zinger meal from KFC is like entry-level chicken.
I know what it is, and that's why I'm telling you that I've got no inclination to go stronger. That was far too much for me.
Can you eat flaming hot Doritos, the red bag of Doritos?
I don't want to try. Why would I want to try? I don't like it.
But they're not that spicy. They just got a bit of...
But why would I eat spice when I don't like spice?
But no, the spice and the spice. There's mild spice where it sort of works well with the flavour. And
knowing that I don't like spicy food, why would I eat spicy food? Look, I'm not a moron. I know what I like. I'm not going to eat stuff I don't like unless I do it by accident. You know what I mean? If you want to eat stuff you don't like, that's up to you. More fool you.
Just think it'd be fun.
Yeah, sure it would.
Right, well, Callum's open an 8.3, so I think what we'll do, Lee, is I'll open one more bottle, and then...
Well, we're going to say another 10 minutes and we'll call it a day.
Yes. Before, I mean, we... Kev, I've had a foul, not comfortable, to be honest, but I was younger and not enlightened. I imagine it's just as bad 24 hours afterwards. But there you go. Lee, I wanted to bring a new product. So, for those who are on the forums or those who buy it, so Ultion, and I think what we'll do is we incorporate more new products that get launched. I'd like to talk more about products in these podcasts as we go on. Ultion have brought out a 2-star Ultion handle. That is to go alongside their existing range of Ultion cylinders. But what it does do is it gives fabricators and installers a very interesting concept here around 5-star security. So they've got the family of Ultion cylinders, 1, 2 and 3 stars. But you've now got a security handle rated at 2 stars. That means you could offer, as a fabricator and installer to your customers, 5-star security on your doors as standard. If you buy the 2-star Ultion handle with the 3-star Ultion cylinder, you can offer 5-star door security. Potentially standard if that's what you choose. If you go onto Ultion, I don't know if they've released the official webpage. If you're in the Brisant forum on Facebook, you'll have already seen it. But the design is based around their sweet handle. It's rounded. They've got the cylinder guard over the top. But it's got the official 2-star rating. That's going to be a big thing. I think that's really going to change. If I'm a fabricator, I'm looking at that going, that's interesting. I've got a 2-star handle with a 3-star cylinder. I can now offer my doors to installers at 5-star security. So, product shout out for the podcast. I would have a look at the 2-star handle from Ultion. It's the Ultion security handle. I think that's really going to mix things up in terms of security offerings from installers and fabricators.
Cool.
It is cool. Go on to I don't know how many members are on the forum, and I think the webpage might actually be live. But if people go take a look at that, handle security is getting better. And like I say, 2 stars on the handle, 3 stars on the cylinder, 5 stars in total. I think that's a pretty good offering. Kev, 24 hours after a file is fine. 6, then 7, and finally 8 hours is a tricky time scale. Yeah, well, we'll leave it there, Kev. I think people get the idea. Lee's got his concentrating face on.
I've just posted a link to our show because before we finish, get registering to attend our show in September, guys. It's virtual show. It's free. There you go.
Free. You can find your next product, your next supplier. You can talk about the skills gap. You can talk about Made in Britain. You can talk about there's going to be chat areas, so you can talk about anything you want, to be honest. So there's networking rooms. Going to talk about the skills gap, the youth gap, careers, jobs, the webinar.
Exhibitors, new products, old products, current products. We've got a consumer and architect facing area. It's free to attend. What more could you want? And you can do it from anywhere. You don't have to.
This is the beauty. Everyone's absolutely mega busy at the moment, and we get that. So you can pop in during lunch hour. You can pop in when you get home. You can do it first thing in the morning. You can do it sat in your van, on your phone, in between fitting windows. That's the best thing. And it is free, like Lee said. So yes, I've enjoyed it tonight, Lee.
Been good. Do you know what? It's been a nice mixture of the usual loyal crowd that come and have a listen, and we've got some nice new people that. Well, I don't know whether they're new or whether they've just been watching and they've been commenting for the first time in a while. But
I'll tell you what will happen. The reaction to the Telford announcement, I think, has propelled Fenix to an even higher level. And judging by the people we're speaking to, the people we're reaching is way, way more than before. And I hope what will happen in the future is obviously we try and keep these podcasts as regular as possible, and we'll do another one in 2 weeks' time, won't we, Lee? We hope to continue to grow in the following of this particular podcast, because there's nothing else like this. There's no regular podcast or video chat or show as such. I would hope that as things grow with Fennex, the audience here continues to grow as well, because I think it's a nice avenue for people to have a rant like me. People to engage in the conversation on a topic and just have a laugh at the end of a week.
Literally, I don't think people understand. Right, we've got businesses within this industry, and yeah, we've talked about Fennex tonight, but not much considering it's our company. We don't do this for plug-in. We do this because we like talking to industry people, because we're industry people ourselves. We like to talk to people in the industry. We like to have and everything we do is off the cuff. We don't. All right, we've got a list of stuff that we might talk about, but we don't plan. Oh, we'll talk about it. We don't go into detail. It's just what do we want to talk about tonight? What subjects? It literally is off the cuff, and we just enjoy talking to the industry, and we do it all day, every day in his jobs. But it's nice to do it in a more relaxed manner, I think, and that's what we're trying to create here, a bit of an area where people who love the industry, but they want to wind down and have a bit of a laugh with it as well. Because there is some serious parts to the industry during the day, but we can have a bit more light-hearted fun with this. And, we don't always talk about work, as the new people will say. It's, we talk about having a drink, we talk about bread cakes and, and Netflix and football and tech, and but it's light-hearted.
Thanks for coming, Alan. The gin has run out.
Cheers, Alan. You'll take care. We're finishing soon anyway, but yes, spread the word. It's nice to get people involved. It's a little bit of a networking area. I will say this: there's a lot of people who have said to us that they've made good contacts through these chats on these podcasts. It's not for us to just shamelessly,
We don't do it for us. We don't do it for us. If you remember, Lee, we started this April of last year. Not long after the first lockdown. It was
when the lockdown started. Yeah. It was literally the week after the lockdown started.
And from there, we've grown a nice following, and it's a nice cathartic way for. Look, I won't pretend it's not. I enjoy doing them, and I think you enjoy doing them, and it's a nice way for us to have a chin wag and talk crap about everything.
Yeah.
But it's also a nice way for other people to take part, to listen, to watch, to engage, to talk about stuff. Because, look, we're all in Windows, but, let's face it, we don't want to talk about Windows every day. We've just been talking about curries, burgers and spice, for God's sake. But it's nice. I think it provides a nice bit of escapism from the general trudge of life, working life, and I hope people enjoy it, and I hope people enjoy taking part. And as Lee mentioned, if we can work that particular live session on the Saturday of the main event at a pub, if we can work it and we can figure out how to organise it in time, we will do it.
Definitely.
So,
but if we can't do it for that, we'll do it within the next couple of months.
Yes.
We'll sort something, as long as COVID dependent, obviously.
Yes. We could even do it as a Christmas special, Lee.
Well, let's see what happens, and I mean, if it's viable, we'll do it earlier. If not, we will do it at some point. But listen, there's a lot of good people from the industry here connect with each other as well. There's a lot of connections being made in these.
Yep.
There's a lot of like-minded people. So,
well, I think on that note, Lee, I think let's wrap it up there. Let's let people get off to bed. The next one will be in 2 weeks' time. That'll be the 20th of August.
Yes.
And we anticipate at that point, we're probably going to have, not then, but I think before then, by then, probably quite a number of extra new companies to talk about.
Well, listen, we'll end on this remark because there's going to be some press releases out. Flat Glass Solutions and
Koenig Aluminium
are coming to this expo in September now. New sign-ups. There's going to be some PR going out early next week. So we're looking forward to working with them. But pleasure as always, guys. Hope you have a cracking weekend. Enjoy a bit of time off. And hopefully we'll speak to you soon. But we'll try and get this live meet-up sorted as well.
We will. Enjoy.